Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for, I don't have to take the glasses off this week, the eye test.
Oh.
And joining me, all right. And joining me in the eye test tonight, right off the bat, up front, in your face, C-Dub. What's going on, C-Dub?
What's happening, Mr. John? How you doing on this September or February 21st? Got my months mixed up.
Oh, I wish it was September.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wish it was September. But
we'd have a lot more answers.
Hey, this'll do. I'm on the right side of the dirt today. And that's
Amen.
The only thing
we
that
all
matters.
are.
We're on the right side of the dirt, and everything is everything, and everything's negotiable because we own the right side of the earth. We're not pushing daisies. We're not pushing daisies. We picking them. All right.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, welcome to the eye test, and this is our weekly gathering here for discussions of the bane, the gain of our existence, the Atlanta Falcons. And I see King Atlanta supporters here. Welcome, and I welcome all of you guys in. Me and C-Dub welcome all of you guys in.
Yes.
Feel free to comment. Feel free to post. Feel free to put something up. And if you have a hankering to, as the old folks say, bam on that thumbs up button if you feel like it.
Yeah.
And subscribe to the channel and be part of the channel. If you want to come in and fuss on the subject that we're going to talk about tonight, predominantly, because we'll go off the rails like a doggone Norfolk Southern train.
You know that for sure.
Throwing cars every which kind of doggone way. And wait a minute, now I see Kelly got another doggone handle, Beats a 925 ENT. Who you is, man? All right, and I see a Facebook user is tuning in at work. Facebook user, follow the directions for being able to post your name so I can call your name out right using the King's English so that everyone will know who you are and attribute your comment directly to you. So because sometimes I go off the rails and I'll claim that comment as my own. But think C-Dub, he must have spilled a Coke in the control room. That's probably
no. It's more like my fat fingers went to do something and it went.
Oh, hey man!
It reset the damn thing
at the beginning. We were talking. Yeah. Hey, C-Dub, anything you want to say before we get started?
Man, I mean, we're here. It's like this. When we first started talking, John, about the quarterback position, we always said, buckle up. This is going to be the ride. This is lion season. You're going to hear reports about one guy interested. Next week is going to be another guy interested. 1 week, Bobby Boucher is going to scrub his Insta account from all the connections to LSU. You won't believe anything until it happens, and that's because I think the new season starts March 13th, the off season. So I just this is where we are. Like, the media is having fun. They're just like, every day has been a different quarterback they've talked about.
Yeah, true that. And I wanted to.
And if you're not, I was going to say, if you're not careful, like one day you'll be like, yeah, you know what, we could go with Justin Fields. Then tomorrow, you know what, we could probably deal with Russell Wilson. Then next week, Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. I mean, he plugged that stuff in his brain on Netflix, so I mean, it can't be that bad. Desmond Ridder, he can't do nothing good, but you know what? Maybe Zach Robinson can. that's what I feel like we're hearing every day.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a plethora, a maelstrom of rumors, innuendos, facts, fiction, and you don't know which is which, coming from what source. And I want to say hello to all of the people who are hitting us up in the chat here. Antonio, Chief, Red, who's going to join us here in a few minutes once he gets a loose from work or whatever.
Yeah, he's got to patrol the streets of Atlanta. He's got to make sure they're
Yeah,
safe
yeah,
first.
yeah. So thing is that you know, with all of us, especially those of us who have been on this roller coaster before,
Yes.
I know every curve, I know every up crank, and I know where the drops are. Just like the Scream Machine and the old mine train out there at Six Flags. I know where all of that stuff is. Been
And
doing
why
it
does
for
the
a
mine
while.
train hurt more than the Scream Machine?
Oh, it did. Oh, well, man, what do you,
Ooh.
man, look, that mine train used to beat you up. Those of
Ooh.
you who remember the old Six Flags, when we had the Dahlonega mine train, that's what it was, the Dahlonega mine train and the Scream Machine.
Mm-hmm.
Scream Machine was just high. But that
Yeah.
mine train, man, you were in a 10-round, no holds
It,
barred, knockout, drag out fighting that thing when you were younger.
if
But
you if you went to Six Flags, the first roller coaster we always went to first would always be the mine trains. We go there
mm,
to prepare our bodies for the beating that we're about to inflict on it, and that's what I remember the first time I went. I was like, "Why are we going on this kiddie one?" And my brother, and I remember family, everyone would say, "You go to the mine train first to adapt to the beating you're about to get."
mm-hmm. And I see Atlanta Bird game. You see what he wrote? He said, "I don't do roller coasters at all. Bumper cars and Thunder River only." Oh, okay. Now
Ooh.
Free Fall. You remember Free Fall?
Oh God, free fall. I hated free fall.
Yeah,
I
man.
hated free fall. I'll never forget. I
Man.
said, why do you want me to get on a ride where basically all you're doing is taking me as high as possible and just yeet me out? Nah, I can't do that, man. That and the Loopy
Oh
Starship.
man, that now
I couldn't do
that
those two.
I didn't know my stomach could ever feel like that.
Well, it
I didn't
wasn't
think my
like
stomach could ever feel like that. Hey,
I didn't get yeah. I
I'm
never
trying
really
to.
got sick. Yeah, it's just yeah. I ain't gonna try it again because I got knocked out last time. So we'll get it out there. It's up on the very top though. So what's up, Todd? Oh, John, you did it to me again. There we go.
Yeah, I didn't. Now free fall really scared me. Free fall really scared me because see, I never had my stomach do me like that before
Mm,
prior to
no, yeah,
riding that thing, and I said, "Oh my God, this!" And I had to do it again. Glutton for
well,
punishment, me.
what was sad for me was, Loopy Starship didn't really bother me because there was also that ride, the rocking ship that would go back and forth. But when I rode it the first time, I had people throwing up near me and and I was horrified. I said, I'm never going on that ride again. No, I don't need to be seeing it up front and personal.
Yeah, yeah, but that
Ooh,
a lot
but
of
I'm a roller
those.
coaster.
Yeah,
When, yeah,
it's man. I I won't do it no more. I tell you that. I'm
nah,
I'm done.
same here. I
I'm
can't.
done. I'm
Yeah,
done.
yeah. I had to retire that crown.
Yeah, I'm done.
I think it was a
But
Superman ride.
but this week I was looking and during the course of last week and a lot of this week, and I was looking at some of the back and forth about Justin Fields. What would it take for us to get Justin Fields? What would it take for us to pry the Bears loose of that number one pick? What would it, just like you said,
Yeah,
everybody has an opinion about what it is that we need to do and how we're going to approach this year at the most important position in football, because this could cost someone their career very
Yep.
early in their career at whatever
Yeah.
position on the offensive side of the ball that they may be on. And
Gotcha.
then I started seeing what someone else's opinion was about Ritter from your quarterback coach, your new
Yeah.
quarterback coach. And
Ah,
as I say that, I welcome in
the sharpshooter of the family.
I welcome in the assassin,
Yeet.
the gun, the hired gun, the have gun will travel, Mr. El Jefe,
How y'all doing this evening,
Keely
fellas?
Stinson. How you doing, boss? Hadn't
Man,
seen you,
Keely.
hadn't seen
Yeah.
you around work in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm
See
in the
you call,
comments though.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm
I get
saying.
to
I
see
ain't
Keely.
seen
Yeah.
you. Yeah, you done called. Yeah, hey, you done called in, but I ain't seen you.
He's doing the call. Hey, I'm calling. I'm gonna just type up a message and tell me what you think. I'll get back to you later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Keely calling in from the parking lot. Now he done made it to work, but don't even want to come in the building. I said, well, god dog, is it that bad? But I had a feeling that this particular topic would bring him on into the building, because your new quarterback coach
Yep.
is
TJ
giving
Yates.
overtures that he may be able to make something out of something we couldn't make nothing out of over the past couple of years. He said that we might be premature in labeling Desmond Ritter a bust. That might be something for me to work with and mold. And now Red already made, when I posted the link and
Oh
posted
God.
the show, I thought I was gonna have to start the show at 3:30 this afternoon with
I
Red.
saw it.
You recall, Red was crunk already. And I am quite sure that Red is going to give some very pointed opinions about his feelings on this situation. And I kind of feel that the gentleman below me on the triad is going to have some very pointed opinions himself about that situation. But starting off, Arthur Blank made it a point during the first disastrous press conference to say something about the quarterback position and the people occupying it. And for me, it sounded like he was kind of disappointed, not in just Ritter and his performance, but in the lack of coaching or the lack of polishing a diamond. He said that a lot of the people coming in the NFL, he was talking about the quarterback position specifically. He said a lot of people coming in the NFL are diamonds in the rough, and they need to be polished. And I took that to mean that he wasn't satisfied with the development end of it. He wasn't satisfied with the results end of it, that there was something lacking. I found it also interesting that the new coaching staff that we have here decided to retain a quarterback coach that was a wide receiver coach for the past 3 years and make him quarterback coach. Now, for me, the retention of, and I mean, well, we retained some people from the defensive side of the ball too that was here before. Now, the defensive side of the ball gets a pass because there was improvement. Okay, this is just me, because the offensive side of the ball was the more questionable side for whatever reason, for whatever situation. That was the more questionable side, because we, all three of us here, as well as Red, and he cussing already.
Yes, he is.
We did see that a lot of times the offensive side of the ball, particularly at the quarterback position, a couple of plays, a couple of fewer mistakes could have landed us in the playoffs as the winner of this division. Okay, it could have happened. So the onus in my mind is on the offensive side of the ball, the offensive coaches. And me, hiring any of the remaining people, vestiges, pieces, tatters of the offensive side of the ball is a risky proposition as far as the fans are concerned. Definitely, okay. As far as the fans are concerned, because it was just like when we fired Dan Quinn. There were people that were saying that you couldn't hire a Raheem Morris because he still reminded you of the Super Bowl in 2016. He's part of the staff. You had to finally get rid of Matt Ryan in order to get rid of the stench that was part of the 2016 Super Bowl and the coaching staff and the players or whatever. But it's even more, I guess, pointed now. It's even more pointed now because of the fact that those past 3 years are so recent. And we can, anytime you talk about the Falcons, 2023 on back to 2021, you know your demons. You know your demons by name. Yep. So I'm going to leave it there and let you guys have it. I mean, Keely, since you just came, what do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's not a uniform message that's been coming out of Atlanta. You got Zach Robinson saying that he feels like he can do something with Ritter. But I also did hear what I got from the initial press conference with Blank. I did get the inference that he felt that the coaching of Ritter wasn't significant as far as development. He felt that wasn't enough. But on the other end, I've seen Terry in an interview where he said that he is going to get the quarterback position right. I saw that in a recent interview where Terry said that is their goal, to get the quarterback position right. As far as Raheem, we really didn't get an idea of Raheem's stance on it, because he did a great job of pirouetting those questions. Matter of fact, in that press conference, he was asked on 3 separate occasions directly about the quarterback position.
Yes, he was.
And he did a great tuck and roll on every single one of those questions. He never answered directly about what direction. I mean, that's his job. And he did a good job at it. So because we don't have any type of uniform message, but the one thing that kind of, I think, is going to paint us into a corner is that Arthur Blank himself has the pressure of a potential 7th consecutive losing season, and how would that affect the business of football here in Atlanta. So I think that may force the direction on more than anything. Because if my biggest fear is this, if Zach is going to be another Arthur Smith, where they feel that Ritter is a career builder, I mean a resume builder, because you have those. I think a Bill Belichick approach would be, I've already proven everything. There's nothing to add to my resume. It's basically all about winning at this point in his career. There's nothing else to prove. However, a young guy who's never had a head coaching job, who may have aspirations of being a head coach, they might find, oh, the development, I turned a 3rd round pick into a starting quarterback as a leapfrog to a future head coaching position or a resume builder. And you have those type of conflicting interests that you have to be concerned about. But I think ultimately, I'm hoping that the concerns of a 7th consecutive losing season kind of keep us from gambling on such a situation at quarterback.
All right. Now I've got my 4th square field here with Mr. Antonio, the angry man, Henderson.
What's up, Antonio?
What's going on, Antonio?
What's up, fellas?
Talk to me, man. You know what the subject is. You know what the situation is.
You heard Keely. What? Yeah, you heard Keely. What you got? And then I'll respond.
I personally feel like, last year Ritter got thrown to the wolves, and really there was no development when it came to him last year. I believe like now with the right people in place, like I don't think that I don't see him being a starter. I can see them, working on him for him to be a solid backup. But that's about it. But I don't think only way he'll be able to start, like, somebody got to get hurt. And then I'm not even thinking, like, whoever we bring in here, he might be 3rd in the depth chart. Real talk.
Yeah.
He might be 3rd in the depth chart. He might be on the practice squad.
It's a strong possibility.
Very strong.
If you draft a young quarterback, then you don't want Ritter, who's young himself, as the round. You're going to want a veteran in there, which then probably pushes him to practice squad.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, like, nobody, I don't think, like, even with Raheem coming in, I don't think that he'll bet his first year on Ritter, period. It's not. That's not even an option. Like, not for him, not for us as a fan. Arthur Blank not even thinking that.
If you feel like you got time, like if you feel like I got 4 or 5 years before I'm on a hot seat, you don't think he will consider it?
This year?
Well,
no.
Well, hold on. All right. I don't want to cut you off, Antonio. You good?
No, the only thing about it is that for us to be, like, we're not in a rebuild, period.
Yeah, I got you.
We missing, like, we missing a quarterback, and I think we missing a real, true pass rusher. That's it. Outside of that, what Ritter did last year, and Arthur Smith knew that, come on, dude. Once Ritter got exposed, everybody knew it was over. We talked about this last year, like week 5 or 6. Once Ritter got exposed, Arthur Smith knew it was over.
Okay,
the jig was up.
Even if we had made
C-Dub,
the playoffs.
before you go,
ahead.
C-Dub, I gotta ask this question, and this is for everybody, so that I can kind of narrow some things down in my mind. Can we put Ritter back on the practice squad with his contract?
Should be able to.
I don't see why
you can do anything. I mean, I think
why not?
Yeah. I mean, you've had guys who were backups before that ended up being on the practice squad, and then they would bounce them up and down. I mean, it happens sometimes like that.
Oh, okay. I see. I look at the NBA and I'm looking at NFL, and I want to make sure I don't get confused between the two, because there are some crazy rule differences between the two leagues as far as Collie Paw and the Hawks and the practice squad and the Falcons. So, all right.
Well, let's put
Okay,
it
go
this
ahead,
way: if we're
Go ahead,
talking
C-Dub.
Hawks, or if we're talking NBA, we got to ask them to
I'm
show
sorry
up.
I brought it up. I'm
Yeah,
sorry I brought it up.
we got to ask them to show up to an All-Star game and play. But anyway, I'll tell you. All right. So look, first of all, I'm going to restate what I said in the opening, because it actually, to me, really kind of solidified, because everyone has said it. But again, here we go again. This is lying season. This is where you don't. This is why I say don't take what everyone's saying until you see the action, because that's really all we have. So TJ Yates, he came from this last regime. Maybe he has a little bit of guilty conscience, like, man, I can see it in him. Okay. And I do like what you said, Keely, about it's not the uniform discussion, because every time the quarterback position has been brought up, your owner, your GM, and your head coach has brought up the following statement: we need to upgrade the quarterback position. Even Arthur Blank in that crappy press conference said it's nothing against Ritter or Heineke. It's just we need to upgrade that position. And the way I see it, we saw what happened when you put Ritter as the quarterback. A man lost his job. So that, to me, I get, oh, I could work with it. And I get that. That's probably with every offensive coordinator that sees a young guy, maybe, I could be the Kyle Shanahan, bring this man to the Super Bowl and screw it up epically, and there you go. But honestly, when I think of the quarterback position and what we're needing, I hear we're not that far off, and I keep going, how good are our offensive pieces? Because look at the stats they had. They didn't have high number of touchdowns for Drake, for Kyle, for Bijan. They had maybe, I think Bijan had maybe 5, 8 maybe. But
but why is that? But why is that though?
No. I'm just stating. Again, this is why I go back to John's point about the offense. All right, about Arthur Smith calling that offense. And this is where I go, what type of offense are we going to see? If it's nothing like what Arthur Smith called, I'm definitely interested. Well, let me rephrase. I'm definitely interested regardless. We got a new guy, and I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But my thing is, I can't really say anything until we know who the trigger man is. And that draft starts, then we'll find out if we're going to wait. And like I told you guys, in the draft, when we get to this process, a couple of things are going to happen. Guys are going to jump up high to the draft, a la Zach Wilson, who did his best Patrick Mahomes impression and fooled the Jets to drafting him number 2 overall. I bet you if you asked the Jets, they would have said, man, we wish we never drafted that boy. We didn't want Cobra Kai. So, he's just one of, Mitch Trubisky was the other guy that people talked about. Had a great arm, but maybe not up there. So when I think about this draft, yeah, you got the 3 top quarterbacks that people talked about, but I just have a feeling we're going to hear people go, that J.J. McCarthy, hey, Bo Nix, it's already happening. And people are going, the Falcons shouldn't pick them. Well, I'm like, let's just see who's available at 8, or let's see when we actually get to the draft and see who makes the move. Because I still think we're going to see something where someone's going to reach on a guy and we're going to go, well, they could have just waited and got that guy. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Now, something else that I wanted to add, and it was something that you said, C-Dub, about Ritter and the coach getting fired.
Yep.
When he played. Now, I would have to say, with all evidence being brought to the table from the prosecution as well as the defense, that the firing was self-inflicted because you did not develop this man.
Most definitely.
Agreed.
200%.
You did.
Yeah.
I mean, Arthur Smith, you did this to yourself. If you tuning in, Arthur Smith, get real close to your radio. Get real close to your phone. The wounds that you are recovering from, you fell on your own sword.
Yeah.
You shot yourself in the foot.
Is that a fireable offense?
Hell yeah.
No. Here's my question.
Okay.
We have no evidence that he is capable of being developed. So if let's say Jesus is the greatest quarterback coach of all time, and he couldn't make Ritter a starting quarterback. So if Arthur Smith couldn't do it, then is that truly a fireable offense? Like I don't put it on development.
No.
Because
Kelly,
I don't think there should be.
Keely?
I don't think there should be an expectation of to me, the concept is wild that anyone's job is based upon the development of a third round pick.
No. Okay. I get what you're saying, Keely. I get what you're saying.
I got to say
never
that
be an expectation of a third round pick. Like if failing to develop Zach Wilson, that is a fireable offense because you spent a number 2 overall pick, and there are talent expectations. Like
I get that.
That's fireable. Like if Andrew Luck was a bust, that's fireable. But a third round pick, like we talking about, like Mason Rudolph. We're talking about Will Greer. We're talking. These are all the history of third round picks that never make it to the field. I don't know if the development should be the expectation.
Hey, Keely,
let me say this.
Okay.
Let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Who did it?
That's different. That's a different firing for making a stupid decision is a lot different than failing to develop something.
Yes.
I
agree, Keely. I agree. But if you didn't do it, and then if you did it and you sold it and you said you could do it, but failed to do
allegedly.
No.
Hold
on. Let me see. This is the thing. Look at the people who you tasked with doing it. As a head coach, you put a running back coach as your quarterback coach. Okay,
well, John. Before you go, let me just tell you what my objection was when you said he sold it. Now that was part of my beef with, and I remember Toddy kept talking about how Terry scot-free, right? Because we were sold that every decision was a group decision.
Right? Right.
Yeah.
Right. True.
So that's where I was confused because during the press conference, what I wanted to hear was, this was my decision, this was his decision, and of course they too professional, they weren't going to do that. However, I wanted to know, all right, who ideal was it to draft picks at 4 overall? Who ideal was it to say, all right, this guy could be our starting quarterback if all else failed? I don't think he was ever playing 8. By their decision, it didn't look like he was playing 8. But
totally with you.
But because that was my one objection when you're talking about when he said he sold it. I never heard definitively who decision it was to make these decisions. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I want to. Yeah. Go ahead, Antonio.
No. Go ahead. Well. Before you go, C-Dub, it is here.
Oh, I see him. The ray of light. The A above all.
There it is. And save. Just hold on to them 7 cuss words and their infinite and variable methods and dialects. Because you're going next after C-Dub. Because I know that happened. Ladies and gentlemen, as soon as Red starts talking, the waiver for vile and vicious material it does expire just as soon as Red started talking, because I know he's full of vitriol and pepper and cayenne and whatever. So C-Dub, you go on ahead, C-Dub, and say what you're gonna say.
I think the FCC is gone to bed, John.
Yeah. I think you're good, Red. Well, real quick, Antonio.
You'll be surprised.
Antonio, what were you going to say? Because I wanted to hear what you had to say real quick. I wanted to hear it.
As far as like when y'all bring up the whole fireable offense, it's the accumulation of 3 years. The position basically digressed every year. It got worse and worse at quarterback. When you brought in back in January, February, before Ritter was named the starter, Arthur, he basically told them, like, yeah, I'm gonna roll with this. I call him the Riddler because he's a joke. He said that's who we're gonna ride with. Even when you brought in Heineke was told, hey, Ritter is our guy. We know you a vet. There's not gonna be no quarterback competition. None of that. So, and that, if I was Heineke, yeah, true enough, y'all paying me. And this is what y'all already telling me out the gate, that no matter what, this man is the starter, even though, in my opinion, Heineke is a better quarterback. Neither one of them are starters to say. But at the same time, to not even give that man a chance, no competition. Arthur Smith has so much confidence in Ritter that Ritter was going to be that guy. But who actually developed the dude? Nobody.
The one thing I would disagree with, I don't think he was confident in him. And the only reason I say I don't think he was confident in him is because they gave us the whole dance around when the minute the season ended, they said, is Ritter your QB1? And we didn't get a response till the owners' meetings. Like, he was asked directly, is Ritter your QB1? And we never got a response. That's why I felt like he wasn't plan A, because when Rich Eisen interviewed him, he admitted, they explored they had conversations about bringing in not only discussing pursuing Lamar, but other quarterbacks. He did say that on the Rich Eisen show, and then they also interviewed several of those top quarterbacks in the draft. That's why I said I thought he was plan B.
But do you not remember Arthur Smith? We played Washington the year before. And Heineke torched our ass.
Yeah, he said he remember that.
He torched our ass for real.
Yeah, he said he remember.
But not to even give that man consideration to even compete to be the starter.
Now crazy. Keep him now. Yeah, again, I'm not arguing. I'm not disputing that. I agree that was egregious. I think he made several egregious decisions. I just don't think he was as amped. I don't think he was so resolute that Ritter was his QB1, because if that was the case, the many times he was asked prior to those owners meetings, he could have just said, yes, that's my QB1, but he ducked every single one of them.
Okay, and I agree with you on that, but why not, even knowing that, why not even give Heineke a chance to compete?
Yeah, it's a bad decision. He made several bad decisions. I felt like the decision to roll with Matt Ryan in that year was a bad decision. And then at the end of the year, now you have to make a ditch effort to try to go after Watson. I think he made several bad decisions. But
what's up, Tiny?
Good evening, gentlemen.
We got the Atlanta Bird Day up in here.
Oh yes, we have our main representative from the rest of the fam. The dual Falcons attack system. Mr. Tiny Jones is in here with us, and hey, man, glad to see you in the eye test.
Tidy,
what you got, Tidy? I know you got something on this one here.
So we're talking about Ritter as far as Ritter goes, right?
Yes.
Ritter and old party.
And you know, everybody's holding their nose, you know. Hey, because you know that's it's kind of a touchy subject, especially with all of the news that we've been, hearing, talking about. I think there might be a modicum of something that I can, a little kernel or something that I can develop in.
What?
Don't be mad if I. Don't be mad if I. Oh Lord, there go Red. Don't be mad if I make him bring him out there or whatever. But in hearing all of this, I decided. See, that's why I decided to put this subject up. Just to air this laundry out.
I think it's a good decision to say what he said in regards to being patient with him. And minority opinion trigger warning. I mean, I would bring him back. I would bring him back. Of course, I'm not going to bring him back as my projected starter, but to continue to develop him, and hopefully he'll develop into an ideal backup, or even like as y'all said earlier, like a practice team squad.
Yeah.
The reason I say that, like, we got to keep in mind that the job of a backup, you never want to see him on the field.
But if you have to, do you want him on the field? Like, if he has to come in, that's my point. Give me a backup, a good backup. Like, I don't want my spare tire to be a flat. Like, I want my spare tire to be a functioning spare tire.
All right, that's my feel. So if you go there, Keely, when you put your spare tire on your car, 95% of people with a spare tire it's a very big downgrade from the other 3 that you got on your car, because that's just a temporary. I feel like if you go to your backup,
but it still work though. It still works.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing about insurance. You hope to never use it. However, in the case you have to use it, you hope that it actually bails you out. Like
Lord have mercy.
And my fear is if he has been proven to be a turnover machine, even if he got to come in for 2 to 3 games and spare our starter, I don't want to turn over the machine for 3 games.
I don't want him for 1 quarter.
How many teams
I don't
in
even
the
want a
NFL,
series.
How many teams in the NFL can say you got like a backup that can come in and win 10 games?
We had one for a couple years that never got in the game one time and threw for like 500 yards. But Sharp was.
But we lost that game.
Was it on the quarterback?
Real quick, because you kind of went to an area I was wanting to eventually bring up, because we talk about, because John brought it up, and I think also Keely, Tidy, that if you do draft your quarterback or get a young quarterback, you don't want to have Ritter right behind him. This just popped in my head, and he's going to be free to pick wherever. I'd look at Gardner Minshew as my backup, because remember, he was supposed to be the backup for Indiana, and then Anthony Richardson got hurt, and that right there, I think, is like the best example of the backup quarterback. This guy, came in, he gave them a chance to win. He kept the team going. They ran the ball. They were still running the offense. And understand they had like a lot of guys go down too with injuries too, and everything else, and they didn't make the playoffs. But he was like a throw away from getting there. So
what's Flacco doing?
I was just going to say, what about Flacco?
But what I'm saying is, you would have someone right in the middle, and I see. Look, I'm not wanting Ritter to touch the playing field, but again, it's not out of the question if you put him as the practice squad guy or third string. And not only that, I know Red every damn time, man. I'm trying not to look at you because you keep making me laugh.
let me ask the panel a question. I think
what's going on, fella?
I think we traded
Wallace in the house. What's up, big dog?
I think we traded up to get Caleb McGarry, y'all. Is that not right?
Yeah, we did.
Jump back in the first, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where was he at going into year 3? How did y'all feel about McGarry going into year 3?
Hated
him.
They wanted him gone.
Now I'm gonna say what I saw. Now that was the year that he took off and got bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
No. That was going into his fourth year because he got bigger during the contract year. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Let me see. Caleb McGarry came in Quinn's last year, right?
Wallace, I know that's you.
He was drafted
with
the
that
same
damn
year as
music.
Lindstrom. He was drafted the same year as
damn
Lindstrom.
cartoons.
That was the Metros.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was the Metro's last draft class.
Okay, the Metro's last draft. So, okay. So, well, wait a minute now. Dimitroff's last draft, that was 2020. Okay. When him and Lindstrom came together. 2021, Arthur Smith came.
And that couldn't have been a contract year then. It had to be prior to 2020.
2022. Was it 2022 the contract year?
Yeah, so it couldn't have been 2020.
Yeah. So that means 2021 then we're talking about. The first year of Artie. God. If it was the first year.
He's a first round pick, so they got like 4 years.
No. I know that. I was trying to do the math.
I was trying to gauge when it was that because he was a turnstile his first year.
Yeah.
And he was a turnstile for 2 years before he bulked up. Isn't that true?
That's true.
Yeah, 2019 draft.
He's a decent right tackle. I'm not saying he's the greatest. I mean, if we had a left-handed quarterback, I wouldn't want him protecting somebody's blind side.
I think I'm the wrong person for that question because Tidy will remember. I was the one that kept saying like, "Hey, watch, he gonna ball out in his contract year." Like I was supporting him.
They always do.
I just felt like it was just and I hate because I'm about to I'm about to walk right into Tidy's wheelhouse with this.
Walk right on in there, Keely.
I felt like McGarry was going to develop.
That's exactly
I know. I said.
I agree.
I said that.
Well,
he's a first round talent, though. He's a first round talent versus a third round talent.
He developed into a good run blocker.
Talent. We traded back.
He developed into a good run blocker. I
knew he was better at run blocking than pass blocking. I just felt that with work, he was going to be solid on the pass blocking.
Oh, okay.
I mean, look, as long as you're trying to adjust and work and try to, get better, I mean, you could work. I mean, and they still have Ledford too. They kept him.
Plus, it's good to have an offensive lineman as a head coach. I mean, that also
yeah. But Ledford, he's
for the offensive line.
Wait a minute. Did Arthur Smith play offensive line?
Yes, he did. Yep. Yes, he did.
There's some black and white footage of that.
Yeah. Hey, Red.
He probably played. What's up, John?
Now, Red, it's your turn. Go ahead, man. I know I'm gonna get kicked off there, but go ahead.
Hold on, real quick.
Yes,
the views of Red do not reflect the eye test. John, Tidy, Wallace, Antonio, and Keely. Maybe me, but we'll work it out. Depends on what Red says.
Yeah, we'll deal with the legalities later. I'm dead either way. So go ahead, Red. What you got?
Well, I'm sure you guys been waiting to hear my thoughts on that moron TJ Yates and all that trash he was talking about there. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with my Falcons organization and some of the members. Let me get my camera back up. And some of the members of my Falcons organization. I mean, what is it, fellas? Do we just employ pain freaks? I mean, folks that love pain and just love to be tortured. Once you have been done wrong and been beat down and backslapped and just thrown acid all in your face with a certain guy. I mean, that still ain't enough. We have seen how many games of Desmond Ritter. The man got coaches fired, players benched, goddamn receivers trying to kick his ass, and still, we got coaches and fans that just don't get a clue. They still think it's something about this guy that you can pull out his ass and put it on the field and make it turn into something elite. Well, there ain't gonna be nothing elite, but at least something solid.
But Red,
I'm here to tell.
Red, these coaches,
cartoon man.
These coaches got to keep it professional. They can't just go there and say we finna kick these two quarterbacks off and bring in their own quarterbacks. They can't go
Wallace,
direct like that.
Well, Wallace, that's what happens when you interrupt Red. I'm trying to make a point here. Okay, give me my time back. I was getting to a point.
Oh, okay.
Reclaiming his time. Hey, Wallace, he gonna waste it anyway. Go ahead, Red.
Oh, okay.
Well, since Wallace beat me to the punch, he couldn't sit down in the theater and just watch the movie like a normal fan. He got to go all the way to the end of the movie and say, "Hey, Red, here's the twist of the movie," just to let you know. Okay, fine, Wallace. I'll get to the end of my little rant. Yes, Wallace, you're right. The coaches have to be nice to that little trash, that garbage who they trying to sell us as gourmet and Ritter. Yeah, look, I'm telling y'all, these coaches this week have been being a little extra nice. Maybe they need to take a page out of our owner because he ain't been nice at all this offseason. He said, "My QB room is trash." Did you not hear me? My QB room is trash, and I'm trying to be nice about it. Well, for some reason, these coaches are being a little too nice. Okay, Zach Robinson saying, "Well, maybe let me take a look at his film. I may be able to do something with him." Then you got that moron TJ Yates coming out today talking about "Man, I need to take a look at this guy. Maybe it's something I missed." No, it ain't a damn thing you missed. What you saw is what you got. And that is utter and pure trash, okay? Stop trying to turn garbage into gourmet. Stop trying to turn trash into Trump, and stop trying to turn the mine train into the mind bender or the fucking Goliath, okay? It is trash. Leave the sorry shit behind when you're ready to get on board with a first round quarterback talent. Let me know, Falcons, okay? And stop talking to me about this third round scrub that has already ruined one season. And they'll let it be known these coaches trying to set them up to ruin another one. But not on my watch, damn it. Not on my watch.
All right, let me say this. Ritter's a third round pick.
Damn
he
right.
has started in 17 games. Does anybody know right off the top of your head what's his overall win-loss record?
I think he's with like 2 games below 500, I believe.
Yeah.
You close. You close.
Is it 3 games?
No, he's 8-9.
Oh, okay.
8-9. Say what?
Right. He's 8-9. And see, that's why you have coaches like that coming out and saying that. I mean, we all know he's a trash starting quarterback, but this is going back to a little bit of what Keely said. I don't truly believe that they purposely drafted him to be the franchise starter, the franchise starting quarterback. I believe he ended up being a starter based on victim of circumstances. Like they got back into a wall and they really didn't have a choice. So they was like, okay, it's like sometimes, like John and Keely, I know y'all guys are avid travelers. It's like sometimes you go to Vegas, you got $100 in your pocket. You're like, shoot, I'm gonna see if I can flip this thing and make it $5,000. You come up. And if you lose that $100, I ain't lose too much, just $100. I'll go spend that on eating anyway. I really think that's what their philosophy was going into the season. As far as Arthur Smith goes, he just ran out of time. I feel like if he'd have won like 2 of those games that he lost at the end of the season, he don't get fired and he have another opportunity in 2024 to get a better quarterback.
I think if he wasn't a prick and such a standoff with the media, he probably gets another year. The way he reacted to the media and the way that he was so standoffish, I think that killed any chance.
They
But
didn't have
here,
his back.
now let me ask you this though: do you think those? I think Ritter is the luckiest quarterback in the world. Do you think those
Judging by what
victims?
the coach is saying, you're right.
Do you think that victim of circumstance situation can occur again? Because I think it's very likely
God, oh
that
God,
Ritter could end up on the field again this upcoming season as a starter. I think
God,
it's highly
Hell
likely.
no.
oh
No,
my
he going
I
to.
God.
totally disagree with that.
All right, okay, all right.
Look, look,
I
So
look,
don't
look,
see.
look,
I don't
look,
see
look.
it in
If it
no
happens,
way.
Red,
Keely, are you trying to kill me over here?
I'm hear me out. I'm telling y'all, I thought about this. All right, we're sitting at 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
What? All right, I boil it down to this. I feel like our quarterback options are all on one hand right here.
Mm-hmm.
There's Russ,
That's a good
Fields,
option.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels,
That's a
Mm-hmm.
good option.
or
Great option.
or Caleb, right?
Okay.
Nah, I take
Nah.
Russ and Daniels. Go
The
get
only
Russ
reason I
and go
say
get Daniels.
Caleb is because Chicago's the only out there top 3. I think Chicago is the only team that could possibly move.
Hey,
I don't.
does
I
anyone
don't.
think that
Chicago
Drake
gonna
May would
draft
fit?
Caleb, bro.
I don't think. I don't think. I do not think Washington is moving. They need a quarterback, and I do not think New England is moving.
Now
They
they
need a.
could move.
It's could
Oh, you
they.
got Blues.
I'm saying in terms of probability, anything can happen. I'm just talking about on a probability standpoint. So
Okay.
I get you.
yeah, so I think it's very likely that it could be a victim of circumstance situation again where we could strike out because if Russ goes to Pittsburgh, which is highly likely, if that leaves the market, I think Kirk is probably going to go back to Minnesota. I just think this is another Baltimore situation where the asking price was too high. Minnesota said let the market set it, but I think they're basically going back home.
What
And
about
then
See, that's
Tannehill
why
to
that's
Steelers?
that's why I
I
said
I
whatever the
think
Falcons do, they need to
I
do it
think
quickly.
we can assume that because of Arthur Smith that would be the case, but Tomlin still runs that show. I
No,
don't
I
think
got you.
yeah, I don't think Tomlin is gonna say yes, let's prioritize Tannehill over Russell Wilson.
No, I
Um
got you. Because
yeah,
well, the reason why is because I remember people talking about how they wanted to push Pickens. I remember John talk about how Arthur Smith dictating dictating, saying he was there to work with Kenny Pickens.
You got to
So
do
I
their
was
contract.
wondering if they were trying to do it. Maybe, hey, we're going to get somebody to push him. Okay, let's go get Tannehill,
I
who's solid backup. If you got him, he would be a solid backup. And if he ended up having to play a couple of games here and there, hey,
agree.
you see what
That
I'm
does
saying.
make sense.
But no. But I do get the Wilson thing because really, if Tomlin wants Wilson, that's who they should go after. Honestly,
Did
Yeah,
he
no,
say that?
what you
Did
said made
Tomlin say?
sense. What you said made sense. I think overall the point is that there's 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 more openings than quarterbacks available. So
I got you. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very plausible that that market could shrink up and we're outside holding back, especially if that's the case. If there's more openings than quarterbacks available, then that makes that market very competitive. That means all of a sudden you got to overpay for Fields, and I don't know if our organization is going to do that, and I don't know if our organization is going to pay that steep price to try to pry that number one spot. Of course,
Falcons got to
anything
make
can
up their
happen,
mind.
but I think it's very likely that we could be stuck holding the bag. I mean, stuck on the outside looking in.
Good Lord. I'm cool with him as a backup, a third string, but as a starter. Good Lord.
No, I get it. I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's a
you and
desired
Red.
situation. I'm just saying it could be another victim of circumstance, like how you just spoke about.
No,
It could be
they
another
gonna get
situation where we
They're
get
gonna get a
stuck.
quarterback.
they
Here.
gonna get a quarterback.
Who?
Now
Yeah.
wait a minute.
You can't just create
Who
one out of thin air. That's what I'm saying.
So if they don't get one of
who you cool with as a backup, Titan?
I'll be cool with developing Ritter as a backup.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Okay,
Or let him
now
compete at the backup.
hold that right there. Hold that right
Give me
there.
Baker.
And I need to ask this question. how do you develop a person as a backup? Isn't a backup someone that you couldn't develop as a starter?
No,
Not
not always.
necessarily.
Not always.
No. It's not. Yeah.
Because
Explain to me.
when you draft conventionally, when you're drafting a quarterback 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th rounds, that's pretty much your purpose of drafting them. Hey, you're a depth guy. We're gonna try to develop you into a solid backup. But when you're in the middle rounds, you're drafting quarterbacks. No matter what the Falcons did because of the circumstances, you're not intentionally drafting a 3rd or 4th round guy. All right, this is my franchise guy here for the next 12 years. That's really a depth sign, a depth draft.
You're a good point.
Okay,
and not only that, but if you give the opportunity to the player to perform, and he rises to the occasion and actually earns the starting quarterback. Because remember, a lot of us were sour on Ritter when the season started because Arthur Smith awarded the job to him. He didn't let him fight for it. He didn't let him have some highs, some lows. He just was like, hey, 9 snaps. That's all I need to see. Interception? We got this. We know what we're doing. And sure enough, look where we're at. We're talking about a quarterback with a new coach.
Now, C-Dub, okay. If you bring, say, for instance, you have a incumbent starter and 2 quarterbacks that you just brought in, and you hold a competition between all 3 of those quarterbacks for the starting job. Nobody has earned it. You hold a competition for the starting job, I guess, during camp.
Yeah.
All right. Now, aren't you, prior to that competition, the 2 quarterbacks that you brought in, as well as the starter, they all 3 have the opportunity to become the starter. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I asked Tidy the question that I asked, because of the fact that, do you develop that person into a backup, or is it just that they end up the backup because of how they ended up in the competition for the starting job?
It could be both ways, but I think what you're saying, the way you ask, basically the winner, let's just say, the guy that gets the job, then you got the guy that you know who's going to be your solid backup. It's nothing that competition is always open, in my view. And then if someone gets hurt, well, that's an opportunity. You just can't tell the guy that's hurt, hey, if you can't play, all right, well, I got to put my backup in. And then if that backup shows, okay, I have learned, like taking what Tidy's saying, hey, I've been developing, learning under this guy, learning this system. I feel comfortable. I feel confident, and starts making plays. And we're starting going, hey, man, look at this guy. I think it's all fair as long as we're seeing guys being able to develop, to be in, put a competition, put it out there that, hey, these guys are trying to get this. It's not just, hey, we felt this guy's the best because he looks good in a suit coming into the stadium. I mean, that's basically what I feel, but I'd like to hear what the panel has to say.
I don't think no coach has ever looked for a starting quarterback in the 3rd round or later. I don't believe that has ever happened. Nor do I think that most 99% of NFL head coaches aren't having open competitions. If you go into a season with no idea who your starting quarterback is, like, I don't think no head coach goes into that situation with no idea who their desired starting quarterback is.
No, I got you.
Now, all right, Seattle with Russell Wilson.
Matt Flynn was paid as a free agent. He was paid a lot of money. He was the intended starter, and Russ beat him out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
do I believe they drafted Russ to start? No.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that, okay, Now that piece about them paying Matt Flynn to come in to start, okay, fine. But a competition was held, or well, I don't know if there's a such thing as a all right, gentlemen, we now into the competitive phase of quarterbacking. The winner will become the starter, and the loser will become the backup, and anybody else will fall in after that. No,
if I'm not
it
mistaken,
was something.
It's gonna be working at Walmart.
Yeah, but it was something that told Pete Carroll, Russell is my star.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think you can lie to your locker room. I don't think you can lie to your locker room. Like if it's clearly obvious they're out there throwing the ball and Russ is looking 10 times better than the guy you brought in to start, you can't sit there, turn around to your locker room and say, well, Flynn is the starter. Like as a head coach. Like you can't lie to your that's what I'm saying. So
Russell was showing that in training.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Pete Carroll,
that's what we talking about. Red, you're right.
So what to your question that you were asking, his intention, his thought was Matt Flynn is my QB1, Russ is my project. Russ came in and said, nah, that ain't how it's gonna happen. And the whole team saw it.
I'm the man.
And when the whole team sees it,
it's my team.
What can you do at that point? You can't then tell your locker room and say, well, even though we clearly all saw Russ when it took this job, Flynn is the starter. You're gonna lose your locker room.
Well, now and it's still
Keely, you know the Legion of Boom. You know the Legion of Boom wasn't having that. They looked at her like, not Matt Flynn. We trying to win over here, baby. Put that rookie up in there. Let's go.
Now wait a minute. Now Red was a Legion of Boom. Well, I don't know if you remember this, and I don't know whether it existed or not. But there was a divide long time ago in the Houston Oilers locker room, as well as the '85 Chicago Bears, where the defense was acting a fool, talking about the offense. And the offense was right next door, and they could hear him talking about him. And Buddy Ryan just kept the fire up.
He threw balls on that man.
Yeah, just kept the mess up.
Somebody get hands thrown.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, Red, that's your type of football team. Just turmoil at the doggone lunch table.
That's right, baby.
Y'all can eat in the same room.
Out the blue, you get a haymaker right across the face. I'm trying to
just get mad.
All right, fellas, we finna go offense. Okay, Warren, I got the 5 right, left, boom. Dang, where it come from? Oh man, oh Lord. Man, just socked me. My defensive coordinator just socked me in the mouth. Oh, man.
Superman punched him. Like, come here.
Basically, the current Cowboys locker room right now.
That was a cheap
imagine.
Shot. That was a cheap shot, though. Somebody punched Mike McCarthy in the face.
But like I was saying,
how come Arthur Smith didn't get punched in the face? by Ryan Nielsen. Ryan Nielsen should have walked over to Arthur Smith a few times in the game. Say, man, my defense saving your ass.
Red, that's what they did the last 2 games.
Hey, Red, not packages aren't the only thing that can get lost in FedEx. Just remember that. Remember that.
Don't say it.
Hey Wallace, what you got to say? Well, let's get the other 2 guys over here. Wallace, what you got?
Now, but prior to that, let me say this. Prior to them going, let me say this. The head coach is the one that ultimately makes the decision as to who the starter is. Whether the locker room or anybody likes it or not. Because who was that? It was somebody that made. It might have been Parcells. And made a very unpopular decision about his quarterback, and the locker room didn't like it. Didn't like it. But they ended up winning a Super Bowl with that quarterback. And I think it was old
Hostetler.
Yeah.
Hostetler over Sims.
He kept Hostetler on the field when Sims got hurt.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Hostetler because it was somebody else that that everybody else wanted to get in there. So, and the thing is that, you know, those are the responsibilities of the head coach. I mean, you either sink or swim with the decisions that you make. And
That's Dash.
And you know, because of that, you know, he made a decision to put Russ in. Okay. So, and they got a Super Bowl out of it and had some quote unquote successful seasons out of that. Now, Nando, you and Wallace, what y'all thinking? And C-Dub, he right. What y'all think? What y'all think? I don't want to be over dominating.
You fine, John. Stop.
Turn your TV down, Wallace, so we won't hear all the Smurfs singing.
Well, that's my little granddaughter. She got her little iPad on.
Man, so be nice, Fred.
I'm just messing with Wallace. I know he got a granddaughter though.
You good, Wallace? Play those cartoons.
That Smurf's iPad might have our game plan on it. You better watch out.
Yep.
Well, if it's hooked up to Kyle Shanahan website in a way, it could.
But what do y'all think? What do you think?
So you saying for us what we gonna do at getting a quarterback? Is that what the debate is?
Well, the discussion basically is about Ritter. And
well,
the discussion is basically about Ritter.
I don't think Ritter is gonna get cut. He's still gonna be on the team.
Yeah.
Oh man, God.
Okay.
What does it take to get rid of this guy?
Because he's on his third year of his contract. So why cut him? He can be fixed. The turnovers can be fixed. Some of his problem was Arthur Smith for his play calling. So you got to throw that in there.
Put my mic off. Let me turn my mic off.
Well, I'm about to say, John, when did you install the sound machine? It sounds like someone's crying over there.
What's like? I'm gonna ask you this, Red. Like, what is the benefit in cutting Ritter? Like, what's the team's benefit? Lay your personal opinion aside, but how do the Atlanta Falcons benefit by cutting Ritter?
Benefits just to make sure that clown don't never get in another game. Don't put him on the team. Don't have him on the team. Don't have him nowhere around. That is a benefit to never have Ritter play another game for the Falcons again. That's a benefit for all.
I can name a benefit.
Go ahead, Keely.
The benefit is having superior talent on the team. If they're truly competing and you have better quarterbacks on the roster, then yeah, I would cut him. Like if the goal is to have the best talent on the team and the better talent beats him out, then yes, cut him.
Okay, now I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to keep in mind, we are the Atlanta Falcons. We all know our history. It's not a given that a top level backup wants to come to Atlanta to be a backup. If you're a top level backup, you probably want to go to Kansas City. You probably want to go to Philadelphia. You probably want to go to San Fran. If your whole purpose is to be a backup, you know, a top level backup ain't gonna just automatically say, "Well, I want to go to the Falcons because I know they're gonna win 8 or 9 games and may not make the playoffs." So that's what I'm saying is like naturally,
if you get Tyrod Taylor will come and sit behind a young Jaden Daniels.
Ooh. High five. Love that one. Love that idea.
Maybe, but what if he gets the similar money from a better team? Because think about it this way. If it was so easy to get good level talent at quarterback, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
I mean, I feel like it's not. I don't think we've had bad backup talent. Like, I mean, to me, Schaub is a great example. I mean, he was a solid veteran backup quarterback. I mean, we just seen with Tyrod Taylor in New York. I mean, I don't think our situation is necessarily more dire than what he just experienced up there with the Giants. I mean, I don't know. I think I put like this. This guy was ranked with 34th quarterback in the league last year or whatever. I think we can find a backup quarterback who's more talented. I put it like that. I don't think his bar of talent is so high that we can't find 30 guys that could be a better option or play quarterback.
You're gonna have to pay for it though. It ain't gonna be cheap.
I don't know. Do you trust Terry?
Even going back to Matt Shaw was always like the highest paid backup in the league.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you value that insurance?
So you not willing to give Ritter a second chance with a better coaching staff that could probably bring something the best out of him?
I don't think I put like this. I would say this, Wallace.
Nope.
I watched him at Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see him make a throw at Cincinnati that led me to believe that he would be a great starting quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
So I have no reason to believe that Andy Reid could come here on the weekends and work with him personally and he become a talent, because I've never seen him throw the ball in a manner that say, oh, that is an elite throw. Like, for example, Josh Allen wasn't elite at Wyoming. However, he made some throws that made people say, whoa, hold up, did y'all see that throw? There's only but so many quarterbacks I've seen make a throw like that. Keep in mind, he was a turnover animal at Wyoming. However, he made throws that made people sit back and like, oh, he may have something here. Same thing with Flacco. Nobody watched Flacco at Delaware. However, they went up there and saw him throw the ball, and they said, whoa, hold up. There's something here.
Got a howitzer on that boy.
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen Ritter make a throw that made me go, whoa, there's something there. That's my thing. So I don't put everything on coaching. I don't even think Arthur Smith was a bad play caller. Was he a bad head coach? Yes. Do I think he was a bad play caller? No, I don't buy into that, because receivers were open. I saw too many plays in which receivers were open and Ritter just made a bad play. Like, his job is just to make sure that people are open. That's what the offensive coordinator does. They get people open. There are plenty of plays where people were open and Ritter just didn't throw that direction.
If it was going to the primary, if it was going to the primary guy, Ritter would get it. But if he had to take the eyes off and find the other guys, you could see where he got lost. Welcome back, John. And
that's the
man, I had a power failure over here.
I was about to. I was going to hold it down for you, John. I promised.
Let me give y'all another monkey wrench on this Ritter thing. Let's say,
why you throwing monkey wrenches at us?
Well, and the thing is, these are viable scenarios that could take place. That's why I made this the subject tonight. That's why I made this the subject tonight, because there are a lot of stuff that can happen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, Wallace, you could be right. I could be wrong. I'm just saying what I never saw. So I'm not saying I'm dope.
Right. I understand that. Mm-hmm.
So let's say if we do cut Ritter.
Yes.
We get rid of him. First day of the new season. Now this is the new dilemma that the Atlanta Falcons are going to be facing. The only person in the quarterback room is going to be the coach. Now you got 3 roster spots you got to fill.
Yep.
On a team who ain't went to the playoffs since 2017. I'm telling y'all, unless you overpay, top level backups are not going to be beating up Terry Font those telephones.
Toddy,
we don't have.
You remember the last time that happened? By the way,
that was the Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Departure.
So I mean, it has. You could conceivably have it that way. Antonio, what do you guys say, man? I wanted to hear what you got, man.
No, like I said earlier, I'm like, when it comes to Ritter, like, 1, he's cheap. 2, I think he can still be developed. I don't think no coach really goes in and say, okay, you're going to bring in a quarterback and he's going to be our backup. I think you develop a quarterback to a point where, okay, if our starter does get hurt, can you get the job done?
Mm-hmm.
He don't necessarily have to have the same skill set as a starter, but can he get the job done? Because you can look at Shanahan. Shanahan put anybody in there, they can get the job done. Because he knows how to develop a quarterback.
He didn't develop his first round quarterback.
Oh God, yes. We don't. You realize
they
Shanahan and Lynch
go get him, and that's the
Man,
they
that's
spent
right.
everything to go get Trey Lance, and they didn't develop him.
He showed did. He showed did.
and they could still go after him for that because that is one of the. Anyway, yeah.
I don't know what's up with Jerry York, man.
But to your point about being cheap, right? About him being cheap. If you go draft another quarterback in the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth round, they will be equally as cheap, and you got another 3-4 years. I don't think him being cheap means you got to keep him because you can just go get another quarterback in the third or fourth round.
Okay, if that's the case, you can go out and get Rattler and cut him.
I mean, me personally, yeah. I mean, personally, let's say you got. Oh, okay.
If we sign Russ for minimum deal and still go out and draft the first round draft pick, and then just fill that third quarterback spot with practice squad.
Go get Logan Woodside again. I doubt that, but
that's what I said. I said Logan Woodside, but Logan Woodside, Russell Wilson, and hopefully
wait, y'all would prefer Woodside over Ritter?
Hey, didn't you just say? Do you just want him to sit there with no expectation of playing?
I would Ritter be that guy.
Why?
No, tight.
If you have no expectation of him playing,
that's exactly
why. Gotta get rid of this guy.
You just said my reason of why. Because
now, tight, he gonna fuck up and be our starter again, and we gonna blame your ass.
But what if Woodside ends up being the starter though? You're in the same position.
All right. So how about this?
Well,
if we take what Antonio said, go get Spencer Rattler, right? He's gonna be cheaper than either as cheap or cheaper than what Ritter is, and then you got another 4 years to develop him. It's the same kind of thing with the Caleb versus Fields.
But we're assuming that Spencer Rattler is going to be a better quarterback than Ritter. Like I get it, y'all. Ritter was trash as a starter, but let's put it in perspective.
I'm just talking about the cost thing.
Hold on,
you brought up
he was trash. Period.
I'm just bringing up
as a backup.
No, as a starter. If he's playing backup, you don't have the opportunity to call him trash because he don't have all that weight on his shoulders. He's not starting all these games.
Okay,
now he has the opportunity to sit back and learn.
Quick question.
Learn what?
Based on the conference that the quarterback comes from, do you think that he has an edge over Ritter, being that he's coming from the SEC?
I do.
Because I think
he played more pro style. He played more pro style.
Ain't really played nobody, bro. Think about it. Caleb Williams ain't really played nobody.
I want Daniel.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me say something here. Okay.
Tell me who Caleb played.
I don't think it's about who he played, but it's about his coach, Lincoln Riley. He kind of has a track record.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he does.
Of developing quarterbacks for the NFL.
Well, the thing
blanket time.
But with that being said, it's not like he's getting guys who are like 2-star recruits. He's getting like Caleb Williams was he was a 5-star quarterback, number 2 in the country when he came out. So it's not like Lincoln Riley is working with garbage quarterbacks and turning them into these elite passers. He's getting he's
starting out with good stock. He's starting out with good stock.
He's got some prime dough to make some prime pizza.
But you don't think
he has a track record.
But you don't think, depending on the conference that the quarterback comes from, that they would be better. How many quarterbacks in the SEC right now that's coming out this year, or even starting next year, are better than Ritter in your opinion?
Okay, you're saying better than Ritter. Okay.
Oh shitload of them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now
Red,
man,
a darn chicken with a stick up his back is better than Ritter in your opinion.
Hold on, guys. I gotta say this.
I mean, I know, Red, you hate the man.
John.
I'm trying to save us, John. I'm trying to save us now.
John.
Man, under center again. Yeah, it ain't gonna be me and y'all gonna be mad. I'm gonna be somewhere waiting. I'm just gonna be somewhere laughing at all y'all comment on Facebook if that man is on the center again. Cause I ain't no reason for me to be
But I
mad.
think Antonio has a valid point. I think it's very possible that you can find a quarterback in the 4th or 5th round in this draft with equal or better talent than the guy that we're currently discussing. I think it's very possible.
Yeah,
I don't think that Ritter talent
that's
is
fair, John.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think Ritter talent is so
I
far.
can't argue with that.
I don't think Ritter talent is so far that it can't be obtained. Like you can't spend another
Oh,
third round or fourth round pick
no. You're right, Keelan. You're right.
and get
You
at least
obtain it by writing your name on the paper.
C-Dub, what were you about to say?
Well, I just had crazy thoughts again because one thought I had was I'm listening to what everyone's saying, and I'm thinking, is it crazy to think that we go get, let's say we get the quarterback we want, whoever, or we get Fields, but then we go draft in like the 4th or 5th round where we have 2 picks and get Jordan Travis or homeboy from South Carolina. His name just escaped me because we were saying his name earlier. Rattler. Let's just say we get, and then yes, and who knows, you get it back, or you could do anything at this time because this is a new regime. And my thing is this: everything we're hearing, again, I call it the lying season. These guys are going to just say everything without saying nothing. You look at Raheem Morris. Keely brought this up. Man was asked 3 different occasions, and I want to say he was asked even more in that little exclusive video with Tori McElhaney, who beautiful one. But anyway, and Ninja Turtle calves too. Thank you, Marcus. I can't get that out of my head, but she was asking questions about the quarterback, and he just kept. I wouldn't say he danced around it, but what I would say is he kept going. Well, it's early, and I just got my coordinators together. We're getting all the information we're going to start gathering, but we want an elite processor. And then we want an upgrader. We want an upgrade at quarterback. That's where Fontenot is. And then Fontenot the other day, I want to get this right. So this is where I go.
Any of that sound like Riddle?
Yeah.
Can I say one thing though?
Yeah. Go ahead, Antonio. What you got?
If you look at Ritter, right?
Yeah.
One, Arthur Smith gave him a total false sense of entitlement.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, we've all brought that up. Yeah,
he gave it to him. Even if who we have right now, even with Zach and new quarterback coach and everybody that's gonna come in, you would basically have to sit Ritter down, basically going like me being ex-military and treat him like you're going to boot camp and break his ass all the way back down and start over. You would have to start over. Because no matter who you bring in there, he's still gonna have that mindset. I was a starter last year.
Yeah, no, but
dude, I wouldn't give a damn because
Antonio,
we can go get Jaden. We can go get Jaden Daniels right now. You're not gonna tell me that Ritter not gonna have no chip on his shoulder.
Now, here's the other thing though that I'm trying to also remind people. This isn't the Arthur Smith offense. So Ritter would also have to be in charge of learning an offense also. So he has, and the coach has to see how much adaptable he could be. See, I think if you really want to throw what Arthur Smith, what was the biggest issue with him was, he wasn't adaptable. He never worked things around to what he had to deal with. Because what was the record every year? 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, But that's what I was saying earlier. When you look at what Ritter could be, it's just going to depend on him. But to me, do I want him here? Not really. But if he's here, okay. But I'm like Keely. Don't be surprised if we get an influx of talent in the quarterback position. And guys, I'm going to say it like this. You're not really getting that much of a great talent over Ritter. There's a lot of guys that were easily over Ritter. I mean, the 34 comment was cracking me up earlier because it's true. He was ranked the 34th quarterback or what, and then what, like at one point he was like the 40th quarterback and he was still starting. So yeah, when we get through Lions season, and that's going to be March 13th when we finally see some movement happen, guys getting signed, then we'll actually be able to go, okay, we see what's happening. We're seeing the blocks being moved. You know, are we really going after Josh Allen from the Jaguars? Are we going to go after, pass rusher? Are we going to go after, because see, those are questions I want to know too. Because to me, you got to address that.
Well, hey, C-Dub, you speaking about Lions season. Let's talk about that lie Riddle told, talking about, I'm not leaving to the Falcons with a Super Bowl. Yes, the hell you are. Your ass leaving right now, okay?
Red,
I don't want to see
Red.
your ass again.
Well, Red, he might not be leaving. He might not
John.
And see, and it's not his choice.
If I see him at training camp, when you pick me up and we drive up there, I promise you that'll be the last day.
Yeah, can I ask you a question though?
And John, you are not responsible for what I do, but
Can I ask
am
you a question?
Oh no! Hey, Red, I let Suwannee police deal with you.
I'm doing this for the family.
Now this comment. Now, see what Demetrius is asking. Can y'all deal with that? Go ahead, boss man.
Absolutely not.
You about to ask a question. Go ahead.
I think it's about you, Antonio.
Antonio, you about to ask a question.
When it comes down to Ritter, and I understand, because even when the season started, and Tidy will tell you this, because I remember when I first got on this show that day, he asked me because I was I'm gonna be down for my quarterback. But I remember when I gave up on Ritter, I was done. Can you really put it all on Ritter though?
I don't think you can.
You can't.
Okay. Hey, Antonio, when you ask that, what do you mean? Can you put it all on Ritter?
One, the man was not ready. He was not.
Okay. Oh, I understand. And no, you can't.
The man didn't have no type of development.
No, you can't.
Basically threw that man to the wolves. And I mean, you go out there and you get anybody, and they coming out of the college football, they coming to the NFL level, and I got a coach that's gonna sit there and be like, okay, you're gonna be the starter. He was he's gonna be hella confident, but that don't mean that he got the skill set to be a starter.
But hold on now, he did make him sit for a few games up until the last bowl.
The Mariota grenade toss.
Yeah, they did.
But like I'm saying, can you put Ritter's fellas squarely on?
Yeah, 2 games, I think.
Ritter is Arthur Smith is the head coach and the quarterback together.
But even at that, I don't think Arthur Smith's intention was for him to even play. I think Mariota forced his hand. I don't even think when Mariota throwing the ball from his back, at some point you got to make a decision because the rest of your locker room is like, hey, what we gonna do? I think Mariota forced his hand. I don't think that was his plan for Ritter to play. I mean,
so now
you can't
okay.
I feel like here's what I put on Ritter. I put on Ritter his inability to come off his first read.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a coach has anything to do with that. If I'm dyslexic, there's
Red, where are you?
That coach can do it to help me read.
That's Ritter. That's Ritter on his first read.
So I think 2 things can be true. As you could say, it's not all on him, but I can't put it as much as on Arthur Smith as everyone putting on him, because I just feel like if Quinn Snyder suits me up to play shooting guard, for the Hawks tomorrow night.
There you go.
Let him go. I
don't know. Can't you use a football analogy, man? Good grief, Keely. Go ahead.
Bro, if
Ritter was basically Bobby Boucher before the coach put some thoughts in his head.
Right, like it's
mama.
bro. If we go out there and play quarterback, if we go out there and we're the option at quarter, any of us on this panel, we go out there and play quarterback for the Falcons. At that point, I can't put it on the coach. Like we're just not that. We're not that talented.
Keely, speak for yourself, Keely. I'm finna light it up, dog. I'm throwing for 400.
I guarantee if any of us was named a starter last year, yeah, we're gonna go out there with the utmost confidence, but we're gonna get our ass toe up.
Yeah. Man, don't speak for me, dog. We gonna go into the playoffs,
and at that point, we can't put that on the coach. There's a talent gap, and I just think, like I said, bro, Jesus could have been the offensive coordinator. I don't think we're winning 10 games. I just don't see it.
Hey, well, you underselling Jesus then.
I think he can make a few miracles.
Now,
I think y'all overselling.
Now, let me say this about that. Now, Brock Purdy, and I always use him as an example.
Mr. Purdy.
Kyle Shanahan, with all of his many faults, the man has been to 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls. He's been to 3 Super Bowls with quarterbacks, that didn't bit more in a lot of people's opinions. I'm just gonna say, in a lot of people's opinions, with quarterbacks that didn't bit more have no business being there than a man in the moon.
Matt Ryan,
one was an MVP. One was an MVP, like literally his MVP year.
Yeah, Matt Ryan was there.
He's still
now. I'm talking. I'm going to limit the conversation to his job as head coach in San Francisco. So he's been to 2 Super Bowls with quarterbacks that didn't, because Purdy, he didn't belong there, quote unquote. And
Jimmy G,
what's his name, Garoppolo, just barely. And because of those 2 successes, I would have to say, with the evidence presented by those 2 players, especially this last one he went to the Super Bowl with, and that coaching matters.
I would
coaching
say this,
definitely matters. The setup.
I think what the part that people leave out is that players can be good at different things, right? I don't think anyone said that Brock Purdy couldn't get through his progressions. The reason he failed is people thought he didn't have NFL level skill set, like the ability to run, the ability to throw, those type of things, right? So,
no, they did say that going through his progressions were bad.
Well, we just
did hear that.
We just saw a full season of him going through progressions, and he threw a lot of touchdowns this year. He is the product of his circumstances. He has a lot of help around him. However, if you're minimizing what you're asking them to do, right? Because he didn't look good when you took Debo off the field and when you took Trent off the field. When you took a lot of that help off the field, he looked pretty porous. However, if you're saying, look, the one thing you're good at is timing. All I need you to do is be on time. Boom, boom, boom. That doesn't necessarily mean that Ritter is good at timing. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying. So sometimes you can do, if you find something that one player is good at and you're able to utilize that once or exploit that one good thing that they're good at, despite the fact they have so many other faults. Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't think that's necessarily turning Brock Purdy into Aaron Rodgers. That's
no,
just
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Oh, thank God.
That coach now Shanahan, and then again, bringing Matt Ryan into the equation. When you bring Matt Ryan into the equation as Super Bowl number 3 that he went to, you now open up that situation where you're using the talents that the quarterback brings to the position, other than timing, as you mentioned. and one of the things that he did do with Matt Ryan was stop him from doing the same thing that you accused Ritter of doing, or that we saw Ritter do. I'll say that we saw Ritter do, staring, because he was able, Matt Ryan was able to throw to 13 different TDs to 13 different receivers, as was chronicled throughout that year, because of the fact that he stopped staring at people because of Kyle Shanahan's insistence. Okay. So Kyle Shanahan was able, just like you say, to change his coaching to meet the deficiencies, to try to correct or minimize some of those, and bring out some of the strengths that the quarterback has, and fit it into his offense and into his scheme and into his plans. Arthur Smith, on the other hand, Arthur Smith did none of that.
All right.
And the reason why I say he did none of that is because of what he did in training camp. When you declare, and it goes to what everybody's been saying, when you declare a man a starter after one freaking series, in a preseason, I can't. My respect level for you, if you fail,
but he was named
goes into the toilet.
But all right, John, let me say this though. I am not a fan of Matt Ryan. I've never supported him. All right. And I remember. However, I'm gonna say this though. I'm not so jaded that I can't say that he wasn't a first round talent. It's not like Shanahan didn't have anything to work with. We're talking about two different skill sets that these two different coaches had to work with. Mm-hmm. I just want to make that be known. Matt Ryan was not a third round talent.
True.
Was he Peyton Manning or John was he John Elway? No. But in terms of this discussion, I can't say that Arthur Smith was working with the same talent that Kyle Shanahan was working with when you're talking about him working here in Atlanta with Matt Ryan. That's a different ball.
No. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Okay. You're absolutely right. Like, I'm not his biggest supporter, but Matt wasn't like.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Okay. That's why I, in the beginning, limited the conversation to Brock Purdy versus Desmond Ritter, because once again, they said now, Keely, to your point, we don't know who was responsible or who agreed to, bring Ritter in, and that we could do this with him, that we could do that with him, and we could make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, and make him into the belle of the ball. We don't know. We probably may never know until some people retire and they can't hold it against them, or put them in a dumpster if they do talk. Okay,
that ball must have ended quickly, because he turned back into a
I mean, quick. Now, because of that, my whole issue from Jump Street with this poor Ritter, and I have to say poor Ritter, because of the fact that he did not get what he was supposed to have gotten out of the coaching staff that they had around. He didn't get it. And in saying that, their Ron is.
Ron!
What's up?
What's going on, Ron?
What's up? Captain Ron in the house.
What's up, Ron?
You done held your hand up like this. Now, I hope you went to the bathroom before you got on the bus.
He dropped off a Ritter.
We ain't stopping. Go ahead, Ron.
With the whole Kyle Shanahan, why they look so good over there, the quarterbacks, because Kyle Shanahan makes it easy for them. He don't ask them to do too much or too less over there with the 49ers. So he could get anybody in that system over there to look better than what they is. What I'm trying to say.
So why didn't it happen with the guy he traded all those picks for?
Because Kyle Shanahan wanted to be stubborn. He wanted more. He wanted more and more and more and more.
So the guy that they threw away all them draft picks to get, he wants to be stubborn with him, but not with the guy that was a seven round pick.
Yeah.
Now, Ron, when you say he was stubborn with him, well, what do you mean?
I guess the Trey Lance wanted to be the starter, and Kyle was like, "Nah, you got to go."
He was definitely drafted to be the starter.
How long was Trey Lance?
He wanted to be the starter, and Kyle Shanahan already got my golden goose right here.
No, Shanahan definitely wanted Trey Lance to be the starter. They don't trade all those picks.
How long did Trey Lance play before he got hurt?
Yeah, he only played because didn't he get hurt and then he played the beginning of the year.
He played
against the Bears. Got beat.
He was the starter, wasn't he? He was the starter.
Yeah, he was.
2 games and he got hurt.
And he got hurt.
I don't think he was the day one starter.
No.
I think he was.
Last year?
No, I'm talking about the day one from being drafted.
No.
No.
Garoppolo was still there. Garoppolo was still there.
The plan was to sit him and Jimmy G start, and they sit him, and then remember they had the discussion of whether or not they were going to beg Jimmy to come back because they had already made the foregone conclusion that Trey was supposed to start the very next year. So then they had that whole discussion to beg to bring Jimmy G back because Trey just wasn't ready.
Right, but how long did Trey Lance play before he got hurt? How many games?
Couple games.
A couple of games. 2 games.
So after that, when the hot hand came in there, Trey Lance never really had a chance to get back in there because he was nursing the injury.
Because Jimmy G got hurt, then Purdy came in.
But I would say this: make no mistake, he did not play well.
Yeah,
Trey was playing bad. It wasn't a.
He only played 2 games, right?
All right. So here's what I would say to that. All right. So there's how they have the former quarterbacks like Chase Daniels and JT O'Sullivan that does the reviews of all the quarterbacks and they break down the film of their games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even going into the preseason before they traded him off to Dallas, they're showing the preseason game and there's what is he looking at? It was so frustrating. Receivers are open over here, and he's just staring it down and doesn't know when to throw it. The film was bad.
Over the course of a year, though, don't you think that can be corrected?
I think if it could have been corrected, they
would have kept him
because you just spent all those picks to go get him. I think if they felt that he could have been the starter, but I think based upon what I've seen or from what what they've said about him, I think they just felt keep in mind how many games did he start?
Quarterback that come in with a hot hand, what's his name? Purdy.
Purdy.
I think the thought process with this.
He wasn't a hot hand then, right?
I think the thought process with this. He only started a couple games in college, and he didn't. I don't think he played to his junior year in high school. I think I think
the North Dakota State didn't even play a full season that year when he came out. They actually had to do a game to kind of showcase what he could do, and that's I remember that because it was during COVID.
And I think the overall consensus was that he just does not know how to play the quarterback position. I think that was a consensus that they came to because he just didn't have the type of quarterback experience. He didn't have 4 years of high school and 3 years of college. He started very little games. And I think that was kind of the consensus that they came to was that he's just not going to all of a sudden get it at the NFL level.
Okay. Tidy.
Okay.
Remember last year when we was talking about the draft? When they was talking about I can't never remember this boy's name. Carolina quarterback.
Bryce Young.
When Bryce Young, we was talking about him and BJ Stroud. And I said, ain't no way in the hell I would ever pass up BJ Stroud. Ever.
Nope.
I said, true enough, true enough. Our boy was at Alabama. He was doing his thing. But when you can get a quarterback from Ohio State that lit our ass up like C.J. Stroud lit our ass up, I'd have picked him number one all day long.
I'd take him.
All day long. And I said that when it happened. But now, I don't know what. He just lets you know that just because you draft the quarterback number one, he can be a bust.
Yeah.
I don't think Bryce is a bust though. I just think he just I think he just in a terrible situation. And then too, like you need a lot of special play design and coaching for somebody that's small. Like
you just said it right there.
Frank,
that's why and that
Frank
was Tidy's biggest thing last year when he talked about it. He said how small he was.
Like for example, with Sean Payton, I didn't know this that they had for Drew Brees, they opened certain windows in the
they created windows for him.
And I didn't know
created windows
because of his height. They created windows for him to throw on that O-line.
Right. And I mean, this is what an offensive coach, offensive coordinator is supposed to do. I mean, if you have a quarterback, just like you guys are talking, if he's vertically challenged, okay, offensive lineman coming
doesn't
in.
apply to him, but okay.
I mean, offensive lineman coming in at 6'5", and I'm just using this as an example. I'm not excusing Ritter.
Hey,
but I'm just using this.
Don't apply to him.
No. I'm not trying to spread that brand of peanut butter on that bread.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And we're not trying to kill Red.
Now, but offensive coaches are supposed to do that for their quarterbacks. Okay. Now, just like same thing that you were saying, Keely, about him staring and going with his first read. Now, if you had a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator worth their salt, somebody should have been spotting that and saying, hey, you got to stop doing that. Because, see, the thing is about Ritter, that Texans game that he played was almost perfect.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Texans game that Ritter played was almost perfect. And he looked good. I thought we were on an ascension plane. I thought okay, he did that this week. Okay, that's good. Okay, all right, we might can build on that. But we didn't.
And that's when the trap door opened.
And that's where the problem started. That's where the issue started, because you got me all hyped up, and I'm thinking that we're about to turn the corner. Everything's looking good, but you disappoint me the very next week, and the disappointment continues. And you go back to and revert to doing the same things that I was getting at you about or saying something about when I was criticizing you, and it never got better. So I'm looking at the coach. Hey, coach, why your quarterback doing the same old crazy stuff that he didn't do in this game where he looked so good? That's where I get at them. That's where I get at them. And, for the 2 years that Charles London was here stealing money, I mean, it was just an untenable situation for me. It was just, man, it just crawled all up my back, oh, man. And we all suffered through it because we all knew we were a tough pass going into the end zone, a handle snap from going to the playoffs. Because, see, the thing is, all right, you were successful, but Ritter, you were successful for a couple of games, but then you got cocky. You want to start mouthing off at the fans like you just won the Heisman Trophy or something, and then you go in, you got a alleyway straight into the end zone, but you decide you just gonna hold the ball all willy-nilly, and the man knocks it out of your hand before you cross the plane. Man, see, my coach would have got a 2x4 and come right out there on the field and splinter that 2x4 all across your skull for dropping his football. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. Because the thing is now, you have, and that was the first thing I said. You have not arrived where you can afford to be doggone Cadillacing into the end zone. Not you. Not you. You have not arrived where you can do that. And then
John.
you celebrate at home. Don't be out there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You like me? No, hell no.
No, we don't like your ass.
No.
Sorry, motherfucker.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. And I bet you I can find where I posted what I just said in Titus game feed. I know I put it down there. Not yet, son.
Hey, John.
Not yet.
John, did you hear the news today?
Oh, what? What? Do I need to take a sip? Do I need to take a sip?
Yeah.
Yeah, take a little sip. Somebody is no longer on the unemployment line. Surprisingly.
Who?
Dave Ragone.
Yeah, he got another job. I'm not gonna say where just yet. I want him to. Are you ready to know where?
Oh man, no.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
With the Rams.
No man.
Wallace, who telling this story, man? God damn, come back and watch your damn cartoons. God damn, you motor mouth, man.
See, now
DoorDash is always welcome in LA. So he's gonna be perfect there. Because Sean McVay does everything anyway.
Yeah, John, since Wallace don't damn spoil the damn my story, the movie, damn, just said I see dead people, you're not really dead. Yeah, Kaiser Soze is really verbal kick ass. Man. Damn, what? He was spoiling, spoiling every damn thing.
All right, okay. Now, hey, panel. Okay, y'all ain't off the hook. I got one question. Why?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because maybe coaches don't think he was bad. Maybe they thought the quarterback was bad, and then he's probably going to go to a place where he's not going to get blamed for bad quarterback play because they actually got a talented quarterback.
Or maybe when you know people in the NFL, you just get another chance.
Yeah, that's what I think, Ron.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, if you're trash, like nobody's gonna put their job on the line for you. Like if I know you're gonna get me fired, I'm not gonna hire you.
Well, look. We've seen coaches all over the place get jobs, and basically what we've said. To me, this is just one of those. Sean McVay, he could say he took a risk with what was it, Raheem? Raheem paid off by winning a Super Bowl with them and, coaching the defense to where they went to. I'm just wondering if I'm the Rams, call Steve Wilks and get him as your DC to handle so you could bring him along to go against the 49ers. That's all. I'm just saying. I want to see Havoc. I really would like to see him get a chance, though, in the Rams to coach that team because, man, he got done wrong.
I think people put a little bit too much sauce on coaching sometimes because Adam Gase is terrible.
Exactly. Yeah,
but Denver had no problem when he was there.
Yeah,
not one. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett is trash. However, when his quarterback was Aaron Rodgers, they had no problem whatsoever because he had a quarterback talent.
Didn't Adam Gates have Peyton Manning?
White Tom's gonna be ready to get rid of his ass so fast.
Peyton Manning. You could have. Me and Tidy could have walked into that Denver locker room as coaches. Peyton Manning we were not going to mess it up because we had Peyton Manning as our quarterback. Peyton Manning was in his 12th, 13th, 14th year at that point.
Peyton's like, okay, coach, I got that game plan. I got this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me this, Keelan. Why did Matt Ryan still need offensive coordinator in his 12th and 13th year? But Peyton Manning was his own offensive coordinator.
Well, so here's what I would say. I'm not going to say that they don't do a job because they do. But what I'm saying is that I think a lot of it is overstated because like if you the talent just matters that much more. Like if you don't have the talent, there's no okay. Bill Belichick, he's not a bad coach. Josh McDaniels, you see the difference with Josh McDaniels coaching Brady versus Josh McDaniels coaching Garoppolo. Big difference. Like when he had Brady, oh, he's a great OC. When you step down in talent and
gotta have some
wherewithal,
talent, but a
Yeah.
good coach
When you have
is pushing
Kyle
it over the
Orton.
top. You can't have one without the other. You can't have a bad coach and you can have a bad coach and a good quarterback, but you can't have a sorry player and then a sorry coach too.
like I mean, clearly, I mean, we've seen Aaron Rodgers with bad coaches because Nathaniel Hackett hasn't proven himself to be a great coach, but that you did not see Aaron Rodgers' production dip not one bit. Like Aaron Rodgers still looked like Aaron Rodgers, no matter who the OC was. Like people talk about how many OCs Matt Ryan had. Aaron Rodgers has had a lot of offensive coordinators, but he's a 4-time MVP, and that's not attributed to one particular OC. Like his number, his play every single year looked like Aaron Rodgers. The only time it didn't is because of an injury.
Yeah,
same thing.
I got you.
And additionally, and additionally, his offense didn't change.
He was the
his offense stayed about the same.
It's always been West Coast.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think ideally, yeah, head coach would want to keep them in the same system. I don't like, yeah, like
because you know what, Keely, the West Coast offense is the most predominant offensive system in the NFL now.
I agree.
Everybody runs a version of it. Everybody runs a version of it. And everybody adds their little spice to it and this, whatever, because like I said before, the shotgun wasn't part of the West Coast offense back when Bill Walsh invented it. They didn't use the shotgun. Matter of fact, when Shanahan came here, him and Matt Ryan had to have a knockdown drag out about using the shotgun because Shanahan didn't want to use it. Along with other things.
They sure used a lot of it though.
Yeah. And thing is, that's why, and I'm just going to postulate this theory. I don't know how true it's going to prove itself to be, but that's why Kansas City and San Francisco, when they meet in the Super Bowl, it's never a runaway. Because you got two West Coast offenses playing each other, two prolific West Coast offenses playing at their highest level anytime those two come to the Super Bowl.
And both defenses practice against that.
Yeah, and they practice against it. They both practice against it. Now, somebody may come up with a different system, kind of like, in Tampa Bay. And see, I can't really count that Super Bowl because, Patrick Mahomes' offensive line was decimated. So he had to run around.
God, was it ever?
He had to run around like a roach in the kitchen with the lights cutting on to try to keep him.
Man, stop talking about my kitchen, John.
I'm sorry.
Where the hell is Taylor Swift is?
Hey,
before Taylor,
I'm staying out of that. I'm staying completely out of that.
You just had to shake it off.
But
shake it off.
But like I said, I brought this subject up because I knew it was going to elicit some emotions and some feelings. And the thing is that, ladies and gentlemen, those of you out there and looking at this, don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if they retain him. And that's what I'm getting myself mentally, and me and Red got to get mentally and emotionally ready for that. Yeah. Because
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, it's a good possibility of it happening, and it all goes back to 2021 when you didn't get what you were supposed to get with that 4th overall pick. Even if you had gotten Trey Lance and Trey Lance turned out to be a bust, it still, in my opinion, and this is just me, it still would have been better than what you did. I'm thinking, Tidy, don't be looking at me. Just, what you think, Tidy?
If Trey Lance is a bust, then I think Kyle Pitts would have been the right decision. If Trey Lance is a bust.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now, okay, well, let me ask this to the panel.
Or Cobra Kai.
Is Trey Lance a bust?
Yes, as of today, yes.
At the moment,
as
yes.
of today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he hasn't even played.
Yeah,
he hasn't gotten a chance to do anything. So yeah, I agree, bust right now.
And there's no signs that he will ever at some point figure out the quarterback position. Like if he would ever get the on-field experience to actually learn how to play quarterback.
Yeah, because he's backing up Dak now, right?
And he's never going to see the field behind Dak.
Yeah, no.
I mean, unless you believe the rumors that they're going to try to deal Dak, but I don't see that happening.
He's still
not going nowhere.
They are not going to turn that
ain't
team
going
over.
nowhere.
They are not going to turn that team over to Trey Lance and Jerry talking about trying to get a Super Bowl.
They're gonna cut Heineke before they cut Ritter. So
I agree.
They'll let go of Heineke easily because of the money.
Just off the salary, just off the money.
Because you can save money.
Now, if they were the same price, like if their salaries were the same, then I can't definitively make that statement. But just off the salary, yes.
They're gonna get Russell, and then unfortunately,
I mean, it ain't gonna be a bad thing if they keep Ritter because they're gonna still bring somebody else up in here.
You're gonna send Ritter to the practice squad.
Again, I think it's a possibility he may start a game next year.
Oh my God!
No, I don't see him starting. He's not gonna start.
Wait right up again. I had just calmed down.
I'm gonna say, look.
It's a league with 100% injury rate. Everyone gets hurt. Even CJ missed the game last year. Like,
John,
you're right. He did.
C-Dub, you gonna hear an epic rant from Red like you ain't.
Other three quarterbacks taking up. Two of them got hurt.
Never heard before. You thought
the eye test.
All three missed the game.
We were talking about doing like we were going to go to all together go see training camp and see everyone play and everything all together. But I'm kind of worried if we bring Red's going to turn into the water boy. He's going to jump the cage. He's going to sprint all down, do a Bobby Boucher to Desmond Ritter.
Whatever it takes to make sure that guy don't play quarterback for us again. Whatever it takes. I'm telling you, it's not happening. I can't see that guy quarterback again.
John, you asked a question earlier. You said, if Trey Lance is a bust, would we still have taken, I guess, Kyle Pitts? That would have been a better pick. And I'm sitting here looking at the draft selections. Both of them are busts based upon all the other talent that's taken around them. Like, all right, I'm going to read off these names. You tell me which one you would take Kyle Pitts over. All right?
Okay.
Jamar Chase.
Yep.
Jalen Waddle. Panay Sewell.
Oh, you said take Kyle Pitts over. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, Panay.
I'm taking Chase.
You're not taking Pitts over Panay Sewell. Nobody is.
What I'm saying, I would take Panay over Pitts.
Yeah, every name I'm about to read you, you're gonna take over Pitts. That's why he's a bust.
Go ahead.
Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Panay Sewell, J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain.
Yep.
Patrick Surtain.
I'm listening.
Devontae Smith. Mike Parsons. Rashad Leader, who was an all-pro.
Yep. And wasn't Rashad like in the 20s?
I mean, you could say that now because
Well, we're talking about
depending
today. The discussion
depending
is
on
today,
the offense that he was under.
but the discussion is today on whether he
yeah.
was. And Rashawn Slater is a better player than Kyle Pitts.
Yes.
And again, back in the day,
all them about to get paid except for Kyle Pitts.
And think about this. Here we were talking. Was Fields in that same draft too?
Yes,
he went 11 to Chicago.
Yeah. So again, you had an opportunity to reset your whole team. And yes, I know Matt Ryan was the quarterback, but who better to be a mentor than Matt Ryan? You could have gotten Fields or whoever anyone wanted. And I'm sorry, getting Pitts was the Pitts.
Travis. He's a bush, Travis.
Well, you cannot say that, man, because look how many quarterbacks we had in here.
I can say it, Ron. I can say it on this count. Kyle Pitts has not made the impact. Like everyone talks about that first year, the rookie year, but no one ever brings up the fact that Matt Ryan was throwing the ball. Plus, when it came to getting the touchdowns, they would double Pitts, and Matt would have to get to someone else, which Matt was good at the time. But the thing is, Kyle ran into the Julio Jones issue. We can't ever get touchdowns to our playmakers.
Does anyone remember 2013? Does anybody remember the 2013 season?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was 4 and 12, right?
Do you remember who
Julio got hurt?
Julio got hurt. Anybody else get hurt at receiver?
Right.
Roddy Wright, didn't he?
All right. So who was our number one receiver that year?
That was Harry Douglas.
And Harry Douglas got how many yards?
I think 1,056.
Over 1,000. Yeah.
1,056.
Right. So why do you think he's a 1,000-yard receiver, or it just so happened that he's a byproduct of being the primary target all year?
Primary target because Matt Ryan was throwing to him.
All right.
A byproduct of the primary, whatever.
He would tell you he was a 1,000-yard receiver, but we all know better.
All right, so I don't understand why everybody doesn't apply that same logic to Kyle Pitts. Who was the other receiver on the receiving option on that team?
Well, it was Ridley, but then who else was it?
He got he had the mental issue.
Was it Russell Gage and what's the other?
Yeah, Russell Gage. Yeah,
Russell Gage. That was your options were Pitts and Russell Gage. And
because
people are surprised that in a 17 game season that he came up with 1,000 yards when we just saw it.
Barely 1,000.
Barely, and not only that, it took week 17 for him to get over that point. So yeah, it
ain't like he was out there run. He is not a dog, man. Look, y'all can look at Pitts and say for the 4th pick, he ain't that dog, man. He's talented.
He's
just a piece.
People need to let that 1,000-yard thing go. Like he's talented, but people gotta let that 1,000-yard thing go. Like
I'll say this. Okay, go ahead.
I just think if say we get a better quarterback this year than we is, I think
they're not gonna focus on him. They're gonna focus on Drake London, like Coach said.
But I mean that applies to everybody. Applies to everybody. If you give any receiver a better quarterback, there you can expect better production. That applies to everybody.
Right. Exactly. But I think we will see this Kyle Pitts will do something this year with a better quarterback. Desmond Ridder will not do shit with Kyle Pitts.
That applies, like I said, it applies to everybody. Like, how did that not apply to everybody? That you should expect better production. If you put prime Aaron Rodgers on this team, I would expect everyone to have better numbers.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to say this too. Now, Kyle Pitts wasn't Kyle Pitts hurt worse than what everybody was led to believe, and he was recovering while playing, correct?
Allegedly.
That's what they say.
Allegedly.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Right. But if you hurt so bad while you're on the field.
Right. I agree.
Thank you.
Right. If you
I've been with Ron and Tidy on that.
Why not sit him down for 4 weeks and start the season?
Right. If you hurt so bad while you're on the field.
And now that you had John New.
He want to get that contract.
You had Jonnu Smith, who could have.
You also had a liar as a head coach. They got fined for not telling the doggone truth about or not following procedure. I'm just going to say that.
Headache gate. Anyway,
I'm and thing is that
gave me a
I'm going
I
North
don't really know which way I want to go with that one, because see now if he sat if he was cleared to play, see this is the thing. If you cleared that man to play, I'm expecting him to do everything that he was able to do before he got in.
Thank you.
Because you said, he's cleared to play. All right, that's what I'm expecting. Okay, but then after we started raising sand about, okay, he don't look right, something wrong, whatever. Then the news comes out, oh, he's not fully healed. He's still a little injured, and he's this and that. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Hold on. I gotta go here, John, because I was trying to be quiet, but I gotta go here. When can we just get players to be accountable? Because here's what I'm going to say. If you're hurt and you ain't going to be able to play up to your level, sit out. If you can play, then play. And if, I just don't feel, I'm not 100%. Man, then tell your coach needs to come up and go, you know what? I'm benching him. It's nothing performance-wise. It's health. We want to make sure we have him for the long haul. So the first 4 games, you probably won't see him. We don't want to push it because, he's recovering. This is why I hate some coaches. They want to be like, this is a cloak and dagger situation. I can't tell you the exact reason why the square root of 59 and 21 don't equal code. But Kyle Pitts will play. Wait, what? I mean, that's what we were hearing, basically. And anytime the reporters would ask the question or press it, Kyle's playing. Arthur Smith did no favors to his guys. Everyone talks about, they fight for him. They play for him. They're playing for him, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to see a different team. You're going to see a different team because Arthur Smith, it's like this, guys. How can we get fired up by, okay, guys, I talked to Pat McAfee. We're going to play this game really hard, and we got this. Go team.
I think there's this theory, I forgot the name of the theory, that the most logical explanation is probably is the most plausible. And I just find it very coincidental that the same red flags that people brought up on draft, pre-draft about Kyle Pitts is what's actually occurring. And people can talk about injuries, people can say coaching, but it's just very coincidental that the same red flags that people brought up about Kyle Pitts prior to the draft is actually happening.
Yes, tell them, Keely. They don't remember.
I don't get why all these other excuses come about when it's literally every single thing that people were saying, hey, be on the lookout for this before you draft him. I know they call him a unicorn. Be on the lookout for this. Every single thing that they said to be on the lookout for is actually happening.
Right.
You already knew he wasn't a blocking tight end.
Here's the thing. I bring this up all the time, and I know I'm redundant. I'll never forget the Keyshawn and Bart Scott talking about him pre-draft, and he's a tweener. He is too small to block in the NFL, and he's not quick enough to play receiver. He's out of position. Bart Scott was sitting there laughing like, if I seen him on the line of scrimmage, I would toss him like a rag doll. He's just too small.
Yep.
I remember that.
Cam Jordan.
I remember that too. Yeah.
I remember ESPN. I forgot the guy that they have on Get Up in the Morning. He's a former executive. He said he talked to Wade
Mike
Phillips.
Tannenbaum.
He said he talked to Wade Phillips on the phone pre-draft about how would defensive coordinators cover him in the NFL, being that he's a unicorn. Wade Phillips said, I would slap a DB on him. He's not going to play on the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Shake my best DB.
Yeah.
Get by my best DB.
And
I will be fine with that.
But
hey,
that's my point. So now people are trying to figure out, oh, he'll be more productive if you do this, more productive if you do that. All the red flags that they said pre-draft is literally what happened. That first year, first year we played against that first rookie, that rookie year, we played Carolina here at home. They put Stephon Gilmore on him. You never heard from Pitts the entire game. You didn't hear a peep from him. You didn't hear nothing. They just said, we'll put Gilmore over here on him. The rest of y'all play defense. You never heard a peep out of him that game.
But that what happened when everybody be talking and the front office start listening. They're like, oh, he this, he that. No, the fans said he a piece of shit. That was the fans said.
We're not the only front office that thought that he was gonna. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna put that. People thought he was going to be a talent. It's just that there were clear red flags. If you didn't have a plan in place for him, like a plan in place for how you're going to utilize him, then it was going to fail. If you thought you were going to use him as a traditional tight end or receiver, it wasn't going to work. And that's a fail.
Here's the thing. Real quick, Ron, and I'll give it back to you. But the thing is this: when you have the bad year we had, you have a chance as a new coach, new GM, to set the error and make it your own. You either get a quarterback, you either get a lineman, or you could go get the best defensive player. That was the three I kept saying when I was hearing all this stuff. And I remember people going, man, but Kyle Pitts, he's the best athlete available. He's the best athlete available. I'm like, who's going to be stupid enough to go get a tight end who basically you're telling us is a tweener? He ain't, there's nothing tight end he does play-wise. He came from a spread offense, but yet, like Keely's been saying, people were like, oh, but he's this, he's that.
Nah, it's too loud.
And you could have gotten a guy. You could have gotten a quarterback, or you could have got Penei Sewell. You remember what we were just talking about with Caleb McGarity? Well, you put Penei Sewell in the right tackle, then you throw over McGarity on left guard, and then you could switch Jake Matthews when it's time, put him at right tackle, put Penei Sewell at left. Your offensive line is even more deadlier. Or you go off and get Micah Parsons, or you could go get Asante. There were plenty of talent. Those names he just wrote off. And Fields, people go, well, he's not done anything. The man come up with a lot of talent or complain. So we can actually see what he does.
Excuse me, we lost C-Dub.
I'm right here. Where'd that go? Oh, I'm on the bottom. Hi.
Bye.
I heard some go. Boop, and you wait a minute.
Bro, he said hi, bye.
Bye.
C-Dub. He thought he was on. Wait a minute, let me find out where C-Dub went.
He about to get a whooping.
Oh shit.
There you go.
Man, I know y'all just took me out of the spotlight.
C-Dub, I heard something go boop, and then you were gone, and then you said, oh, I'm down here at the bottom. I said, where?
And then I was like, hi, next thing I know, bye. My God. But no, seriously, that's why I said you should have gotten one of those three guys in the 2021, not Kyle Pitts. And I hate it for Kyle Pitts, but honestly, this is what happens when you draft a tight end for no damn reason. You should have went with the three foundational guys.
And that's been my contention. That's been my contention ever since it happened. Because a tight end is reliant upon a quarterback to help change the game. You do not build teams around tight ends.
No, unless it's Brock Bowers.
You don't pick dependent positions with a top.
Correct. That's the way I feel.
Pick a dependent position. I mean, good Lord. this is simple, man. Arthur Smith and that regime made something so simple and turned it into rocket science, man. It's like, dude, take Justin Fields. If you don't want to take him at number 4, drop down.
Yeah.
Or take Parsons. I'm just saying, there is no reason you should not have not taken a quarterback in that draft. Plain and simple.
To be
I got a good question.
To be fair, the reports were they were going to take Lance, though.
I want to ask if
hopefully he would have been gone and that would have saved him from the sale.
If Kyle Pitts got drafted by Andy Reid, you think Kyle Pitts would be better?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, he'd be a Pro Bowler.
You said if he was drafted by
you see that quarterback?
Andy Reid.
Hell yeah, he'd be a Pro Bowler all 3 years.
So so go back to head coaching then.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no. Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
No, it's not just head coach. It's not just head coaching. Because if Andy Reid drafts him but doesn't have Mahomes on his roster, then no, I do not see Kyle Pitts having success. It's a total situation.
Well, you mean if he had Mahomes, right, Ron?
I mean, I look at Kyle Pitts. If he got Mahomes and drafted Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's just a head coach thing. It's also the talent that he's surrounded, because he's a dependent. Like you said, like if Andy Reid drafts him, but he has Ritter at quarterback, do I think he's gonna be successful? Pitts, no.
No.
But when they drafted Pitts, they weren't thinking they were going to lose out on the receivers. They didn't think they were going to lose.
What was that, Wallace?
When they decided on to get Pitts, their minds wasn't thinking that they was going to lose Julio and they was going to lose Calvin Ridley. Because you was gonna put him in a situation where you had you was gonna have to double team. You gonna have to be you won't be able to double team.
They were banking on
Julio was already gone. They knew Julio.
Yeah, Julio was already gone.
But see, see, we didn't know that before the draft.
Yes,
you
we
see
did.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, we did, because they traded him. They traded him before.
Right. What he said.
Julio was
gone. Because we got a second for him.
Before the draft, Julio was gone?
Yeah, we got a second from Tennessee. We hosed them.
Yeah, but they were banking on Ridley, though.
Okay.
That's where they were banking on, for real, yeah.
But you know what? They were, and we should have paid attention
to double down on a quarterback. It was still dumb to double down on a quarterback that was at the end of their career. Like that was
agreed.
That was just still
dumb. I've been his ass gone.
Yeah. Well, the thing was that quarterback. Okay, and I'm just gonna say this:
good old Matty.
You whet everybody's appetite by the success that Kyle Pitts had with Matt Ryan, thinking that next year he was gonna be even better. Right? Yeah. This is what I was hearing. You know, hey man, if he can get 1,000 yards out of him with Matt Ryan and the man a rookie, that's where all the unicorn talk started. You know,
Matt gonna be gone though.
The unicorn started when he was drafted, because I remember they had a whole campaign.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I'm so sick of hearing this damn unicorn shit.
Yeah, hey, Red, me too. Because
I remember being super annoyed that they were overselling the pick.
Right.
Like they were
overselling.
Yeah. He's a unicorn. We can use him anywhere.
You're absolutely right.
He a unicorn.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Shay needs to stop.
Ain't played a game in the NFL and you made him king. And you know that's one thing that I really hate.
Unicorns. I think of damn cartoons and the never ending story. You putting a unicorn on the tight end? Get out of here, man.
Well, wait, Red. The what? See, you know what?
Like
hey. Now I don't know if anybody else know anything about that movie.
Never ending story.
But Red tried to blow that by somebody. See, I saw that crap.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. When I think of unicorn, I think of that white dragon flying through the damn sky.
Yeah, with the big.
Yeah.
Man, Red, that's one of my kids' favorite movies, man. Come on.
Hey, hey, Red,
What? My kids are knuckleheads.
that made me think of Krull.
Oh Lord, I remember
Oh,
them
Crow.
things.
That made me think of Krull. But I mean,
Oh, I remember that one.
this is what. See, this is why during the off season in football, especially when it gets time for the draft, gets time for preseason and all that, all of these people start putting out these mock drafts, these proposals, all of this stuff, and it's just a bunch of fluff, in my opinion, because of the fact that the man ain't played a down in the NFL, and you made him king. You made him this. He's a unicorn. He's a this. He's that. Look, man, wait till the man play.
Hey, do y'all remember Patrick Mahomes' initial assessment?
Tell us.
No,
They said
no,
he was
I
gonna
did.
be a bust.
Yeah, Mel Kiper kept saying he was going to be a bust.
Now that's a guy that didn't play. He was at Texas Tech. How much competition did he play down there?
No, but would you go back and look at it when it was on ESPN?
They did.
Everybody said
I know they had him rated
buzz.
as a C. I know that
As a straight buzz.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's bust then.
Now, and the thing is,
He's a goat.
They hate for you to confront them.
Go.
Hey, do you remember when you said that such and so was this and that or whatever? Why you bringing that up, man? Why you bringing that up? Why you saying something about that? Hey, man, you said it. All right. That's the reason I'm bringing it up. You said it. And that's,
you said he was hot garbage.
And you know, that's why a lot of times I'm not.
Andy Reid was stupid as hell for even drafting him.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and that's why a lot of times when people talk about draft picks and all that, I really don't say too much of anything because I judge the person by what I see on the field. Okay, because hey, Heisman Trophy winners, what are their records in the NFL?
It's not good.
Not good.
Definitely not good.
You know, now the first thing.
Some are, but
Joe, I thought you didn't watch college. You sure know a lot about the college game.
Well, I know about the Heisman Trophy. Good grief, Red. Don't they reserve a whole Saturday to gather a whole bunch of folk up in New York and give it to them? Here you go.
It's like a church meeting.
That's the most boring Saturday in the football season.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. And if you have a sad story, just wait. They can't wait to get Tom Rinaldi. He'll be like, this man walked 3 miles with no shoes on.
They don't turn damn ESPN into an episode of I'll Fly Away.
Yeah, the man walked in 6 feet of snow uphill both ways.
Stories on my sports channel.
in this small town of Miami, Florida. Wait a minute, where? You know there's no snow down here, right?
For the panel.
And then the commercial I always get, they say, "Ooh, coming up. Wait till you."
Hey, I heard a question for the panel. What you got?
Okay, let's say hypothetically, we get our quarterback situation handled pretty quick, and we bring in a vet, right? Whether that be Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson.
I already got him on lock. We sitting at 8. We sitting at 8. We already know more than likely Caleb going to Chicago. We know Daniel's gonna come off the board quick. We know May gonna come off the board pretty quick.
No, we don't know that.
Dude, we know.
What about this question, Red? Stop being rude.
With us having the 8th pick and Marvin Harrison Jr. still sitting there, are y'all making a move for him, or who y'all picking at 8?
No more pass catches in the first round.
No, come on now. If it's Marvin Harrison Jr., though.
No.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, he'll be gone. He won't be there at 8. But if he was,
I'm not saying if he's there at 8. Are you moving up to get a better?
Up at 8. Okay.
No more pass catches in the first round.
Okay,
I'm not moving
what are
up
you doing
for
with your 8 pick?
I'll go get Brock Bowers at 8.
No, not Brocky. That's
no.
another pass.
I'm taking Dallas
Turner.
Houston. Turner. Yeah, thanks, Tidy. Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner. Well, I keep saying Houston. I don't know.
I gotta mess with you, Red.
Turner from Alabama. That's who I'm taking.
Yeah, Dallas Turner. That
is the correct pick.
Tidy must have been. Tidy, you must have known I was gonna say the wrong. Hey, you were ready for correct me.
Red Toddy has been saying that all day. He's
Yes,
like,
no
we don't need to
pass catches in the first round. I need to get a T-shirt with that on it.
Honestly, if our first pick isn't Jaden Daniels, I don't care about any other pick there is.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm with you. I'm gonna be depressed, man, because that's who I want.
If we don't come out the first round with Jaden Daniels, then everything it don't even matter to me the rest of the draft.
Sit down.
So
Ron, what you think?
Back to the babysitting hour.
A part of me, I would say yes.
God, Ray.
Has Junior. And another part of me say get Dallas Turner. But I look at it, you cannot go wrong with them one of them. Because
what the first part you said?
Because we need both of them. We need a number 2 wide receiver and we need a pass rush. So we cannot go wrong with them one.
The only way I'd even remotely consider getting Harrison in the first round is if I'm going to trade Kyle Pitts the same year.
Bye, Kyle Pitts. Deuces.
That's the only way.
Man, we gotta get a quarterback, man.
You're gonna get to a
Harrison first.
You're gonna get to a point where you cannot pay 3 pass catchers big time money, so you're gonna end up just wasting a pick.
Right.
And why did that have been the first round? Like you can go get
you could get
a pass catcher later on.
You can get like a worthy. There's gonna be guys in
Receiver should be the fourth option, man. It should be quarterback, edge rusher, cornerback, then go receiver. Whatever.
I mean, let me put it this way: if you want Puka Nacua, they got him in the late rounds.
They got him every round.
Yeah,
you can find a receiver in every round in this draft if you want to. Watch, there's gonna be plenty of them sitting there with their parents, looking sad because they didn't go in the first round.
And Tank Dell was balling. I put it like this.
Ooh, yes, he was.
If you have a quarterback, you don't have to like invest so much in getting a receiver at the top of the draft. Right. How many, like with Aaron Rodgers, how many of his receivers were drafted in the first round?
None.
I don't think they drafted no wide receiver.
I don't think they had it in
first round. Yeah. And to his point with Tank Dell wasn't a high draft pick. Neither was your other boy over there in Houston, who went to the University of Michigan. I forgot his name. But however,
Nico Collins.
However, if you have a quarterback, he makes them look great because you have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why we got to get our quarterback and all these other picks.
Which is the point that I'm making. If we don't walk out of there with Jaden Daniels, I don't care about anything else in that draft. Bro, like
Keelan,
I will cut my TV off.
We're gonna see Keelan posting pictures out in the backyard shooting again, y'all.
You don't like Drake May? You don't like Drake May?
I don't like him as much as Jaden Daniels. I mean, I think May is also talented. I just think that if I'm going to shoot for the stars, I'm gonna go get the guy that I want, not the guy that I want to settle on. Like
I got you.
Like I'm gonna go get the guy I want.
McCarthy to Josh Allen today.
I'm glad you said that name because I say this every single time somebody say his name because I think it's hilarious. They asked Matt Ryan to rate the guys coming out in the draft.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And when they said JJ McCarthy, the name he gave for JJ McCarthy was Desmond Ridder. That's Matt Ryan's opinion.
Oh, maybe that's a good one then.
Hold on. Matt Ryan's like, oh, you want me to break this guy? Yeah, he's the Desmond Ridder of this draft. Oh.
When they asked him, Matt Ryan, they asked him, what is JJ McCarthy's comp? He laughed and he said, I think he's Desmond Ridder.
Matt Ryan is GOAT. He just got GOAT status with me.
He's trying to get in the Hall of Fame for real, man.
Still,
that was a good one.
I'm still trying to figure out how Ryan Well, he's an analyst. Okay.
I'm gonna go here real quick. JJ McCarthy, I'm gonna go here. You watch. He'll be the guy that gets shot up. Someone's gonna take a risk on him. Either him or Bo Nix, because I've been hearing his name being thrown around. And I just have this feeling one of the two are gonna have really good workouts. Oh, we need to look at everything. Oh man, look at these guys. They got the arm of Josh Allen. I'm telling you, if they get helmet head, if helmet head is at the workout and he sees it, oh, he's getting his trumpet ready. He's gonna say, "We got the next Mahomes right here. We got the next Josh Allen." JJ McCarthy, you're gonna have to get and shoot. I'm telling. Look, guys, it's happened every year. Guys are gonna get.
I want them to
workouts, freaking interviews. Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to fart. The interview ain't going to like it. And that person's going to get dropped to number 10. I'm just telling you because it happens every year. This is the roller coaster.
I would not be totally upset over JJ McCarthy. Unpopular opinion, trigger warning. You talking about a guy who got a 41 TD interception ratio. He threw the ball over 70% completion percentage. Look who he was groomed by in college. I mean, I
do find it funny, Tidy. I do find it funny though. That's kind of the same stat line that Desmond Ridder had in Cincinnati though, in college.
That's a lot different. Like you gotta hear everything I said. I said, look who developed him in college. You know, he played for Michigan.
Wait a minute, but Luke Fickell developed him.
Tidy, do you know what AJ McCarron completion percentage was at Alabama?
I'm sure it's pretty high.
Yeah, it was very high.
Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty high because he did a lot of play action. You know, they didn't actually really ask him to do much.
Yeah, he was surrounded by a lot of talent.
Yeah, he was
surrounded by a lot of talent.
They looked at McCarron and said, "Don't screw this up, kid."
Now, look at Chief's question down there.
Keep in mind, AJ McCarron had 30 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions in his junior year, too.
He says, if we get a quarterback via free agency, would you wait on possibly getting someone like Shador or Beck? I believe they'll be the top QBs of the 2025 draft. Of course, I would love to get Shador, but the only thing like that, you really can't hedge your bets like that unless ownership is gonna tank. That means you're gonna trade Pitts, you're gonna deal Bijan, you're not gonna sign any free agents.
Yeah,
you're gonna let all your guys leave. So you really can't hedge your bets to get somebody in the first round like that as a quarterback because he's gonna be the projected number 1 guy. So that means we're only gonna win 2, 3, 4 games at most.
And you can forget about that around here.
Right.
Yeah.
You can forget about that around here. Nobody.
The midday show.
Tankathon is over with as of this year.
Yeah. And the midday. Yeah, midday show. Yeah, the midday show talked about, veteran quarterbacks over getting your guy. And, it's like this. It depends on what, as a team, we want to do. What do we want to go with the vet? Because it's going to be 2, maybe 3 years at most if we get Fields, Cousins, you name it, okay? Or, like Keeley says, go get your guy. Just go get it. My thing is this. We can't figure anything out until Lion season's over with. And Lion season stops when that damn clock starts in the draft. Because they're going to tell you every name. I guarantee you next week we're going to hear, Bo Nix has scrubbed his gram and he's always been a Falcon fan. Wait, what? We don't even know him. They're going to talk about, there'll be a sob story about how JJ McCarthy always dreamed of playing for the Falcons. He loves birds. He wants to go bird watching with Terry. We're going to hear stuff and be like, I could see him be our quarterback. It's just going to happen. And all I say is it's going to be maddening.
JJ McCarthy and Terry Bird watching, giving me a driving Miss Daisy type feeling.
I had to, Trent. You were killing me earlier.
I agree with Matt Ryan. I think McCarthy is going to be.
Oh, I do too. I think McCarthy. My thing with McCarthy is he's played in a system where don't lose us the game. Yeah, you got the numbers, and I see what you're saying, Tidy. But I'm also going. I don't know. I just never saw that.
Like we've seen it so many times, like with Ken Dorsey, people who are on like really
Matt
talented
Jones.
teams. Yeah, we've seen it so many times where it's just.
I'm out on JJ McCarthy, man.
What y'all think about Joe Milton, the third from Tennessee?
I'll tell you a chance on.
Like 6'4" by 240. I think 6'5" by 240.
I mean, he'll be.
I want you to remind me when he get drafted, Travis.
Yeah, well, I mean, he'll be. I could see someone taking a flyer on him. I don't know for us, but now, I will say, the idea of getting like a Travis, from Florida State, the guy that got hurt,
Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis, the guy that got hurt.
He just got hurt. No, he stayed hurt.
Yeah, well, but I'm just saying, if you're looking for a guy, either him or, like I said, or we were just talking about Radler earlier, Spencer. Then I was trying to remember his first name, Spencer Radler. But you get him. I mean, there's going to be options you could look at. But like I said, man, I just know from watching all these daggum drafts, if Cobra Kai got yeeted up to the number 2 pick, anything's possible. And it's going to be possible again because there's always a fool and someone's going to grab him.
Look, perfect scenario.
And I'm hoping that fool's Dan Quinn.
Perfect scenario. Falcons sign Russell to a minimum contract, and we trade up and get Daniel. That's the perfect quarterback scenario.
Yeah, I agree. I resent this whole
going to
Pittsburgh problem.
Yeah, that's what I think they say you're going to Pittsburgh.
Who said that? I mean, where did y'all hear that from?
All the people in the line period, like see Doug talking about the line period.
Chad Johnson said on Nightcap, he had an inside line with somebody that's what they're gonna go hard with.
And we got an inside line that Sierra want to come home, baby. She
coming home. And Network said, Ian said, they were like he would be a good fit over there in Pittsburgh. They said that today.
I need to have a one-on-one with Terry, man.
But man, I mean, you sending the man to hell. Arthur Smith over there. And Jesus Christ.
Hold on. If you thought Sean Payton and Russell Wilson didn't get along, get ready for the sideline battles between Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson. You might as well have Jameis out there.
Because
I think Arthur Smith's gonna do a good job as offensive coordinator.
I think he will too.
Hey, Tidy, with a rock hanging over his head. With a rock hanging over his head, because Tomlin may sacrifice him right on the 50-yard line.
So, look, ball player. We need to talk.
Because. Well, okay. Hopefully, a lesson was learned here. Hopefully, a lesson is learned here.
To talk to him.
And then Arthur Smith won't have the burden of having to conduct interviews with the press. So he'll be back in the background because I'm just saying, if I base what he will do in Pittsburgh on what he did here in Atlanta as an offensive coordinator, oh man.
No, it ain't gonna be like that because you're gonna have to answer the time.
John, I don't think. Again, trigger warning, unpopular opinion. I really don't think he was a bad play caller in Atlanta. Contrary to what all the fans want to say about him, I don't think it was that bad.
I agree with you.
I think he was pretty good. Look how he transformed the running game that we hadn't seen in years. as far as the passing game goes, he just didn't have the right talent. You know, him and Terry dropped the ball there, but you saw what he did in Tennessee. Granted, he did have a Derrick Henry, but you know, Tannehill looked damn good when he was with him too. And as you say, he don't have that burden of being a head coach either, so he got a lot of pressure off his back.
But look where you going, Tidy. He got Najee Harris in Pittsburgh, and they got another
George Pickens.
Yeah.
Pickens gonna be who you got to worry about.
Yeah, Pickens ain't gonna do shit up there. Pickens gonna
and Johnson.
C-Dub. That's who you gonna have to worry about. Pickens and Arthur Smith. They're the one gonna get into it right there.
And see, now, go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
I said Pickens might get him too.
Hey, and see, that's what I'm mainly concerned about, because Arthur Smith. Hold on. I need to check something first, because see, if Arthur Smith
get the play call sheet.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta order something from Waffle House. If Arthur Smith is coming up there to change the offense, he's because see, if I'm not mistaken, Pittsburgh does not run on West Coast.
Get out of my face, right?
They're gonna run whatever Arthur Smith run.
Right. That's my point. And he will be. Let me see. Well, okay. I'll just go with my initial thought.
Is Mike Tomlin gonna pull a Shanahan and call a timeout when Arthur Smith call a stupid play?
Oh God, I hope so. That would be freaking awesome.
What the hell are you doing, boy?
Yeah. See that. Those are the things that I'm thinking about, Teddy. Now, okay. To your point, to you and Keely's point. The play calls weren't that bad. It was the execution. It was a lot of times the execution. All right, because we made, and we went over and over and over about all the mistakes that we made as far as executing the plays that were called. Fine. The part about Pittsburgh that I am mainly, got this aura about is how Arthur Smith came across to everybody. Okay, that may not play well in Pittsburgh as an instructor when trying to teach these people his offense.
I think that might be the perfect place.
Yeah, I think he'll end up feeding off Tomlin. Tomlin is the leader, no doubt. Tomlin's the leader. There's not gonna, and I get what you're saying, John, but I also see Tomlin is gonna bring that structure that Arthur didn't have, like that backing that Arthur thought he was, but never really earned it. But I think they may end up working well. Now, it always comes back to one thing: your quarterback, because in that division, you got Deshaun or Flacco, whatever they want to do there in Cleveland, but that defense is there. You got Lamar, Joe Burrow's coming back. So that's a tough division regardless. So we'll see. You'll see what happens. And we're playing them this year.
As far as let me push back on you. See,
I was gonna say, as far as your point about the way he communicates, to me, it's no different than the way Tomlin communicates with everybody.
Yeah,
like Tomlin is short with everybody, and I think you got to think of it's a different down here in the South. The way people communicate down here is a lot different than up there.
Exactly.
Like you have to kind of put some tactfulness around it down here in the South, whereas up there, man, Tomlin will go up there in a press conference and talk with two sentences, and that's it. Their response was just like that.
Standard is standard. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, and he doesn't answer any question. I won't blink. I don't see any difference between how Tomlin responds and talks to people versus how Arthur Smith does.
And
how do we know how much leeway?
All right. I'm about to be a hard high fastball across the plate.
Let's go, Randy Johnson. Come on.
Come on. I'm the bird that's about to get hit.
This speaks volumes. You get away with everything with this.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith not bringing that.
But Tomlin mainly got Arthur Smith because he want to get back to running the ball because they fell off for their run game.
I
So
hope
that's
I
one of the
hope
reasons
that's the reason.
he brought Arthur Smith there.
There will. I mean, I need to see. Did they retain their quarterback coach, or is Arthur Smith going to hire the quarterback coach?
I don't know, but I'm with Wallace. But here's the other thing. Remember, not just the running game, but what did we just say that Arthur Smith should be credited for doing here? Was getting our O-line straight. And Pittsburgh needs that. That is something they've been struggling with. So
yeah,
can you really
and
put
not only
that,
that is if you think about Pittsburgh football, and look, I don't know why we're breaking down Pittsburgh football, but let's just say it. When you break down Pittsburgh football, back in the old days, it was always smash mouth. They don't go back to that because they can't. That offensive line can't handle it. So you get a guy like Arthur with a guy like Mike Tomlin who's strong-willed. I actually think it will work out fine. Now, again, we go back to the quarterback issue.
Did we? Okay, who's missing?
Everyone's still here.
All right,
we just got
notices that people are dropping. But okay, now is Arthur Smith the only coach that they replaced at Pittsburgh? Only assistant, because see, okay, we're talking about the offensive line. Is the old offensive line coach still there? Okay.
I'm looking it up.
I'm talking about the quarterbacks. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. Arthur Smith is being brought in as the offensive coordinator. All right. Now, as I'm looking, Pittsburgh last year ran that Erhard-Perkins system, which is completely different from the West Coast offense. Erhard-Perkins, that's what New England used to run. Okay. Now, terminology is the same or whatever, but there's a different philosophy. And just like, you guys were saying about, C-Dub in particular, about the fact that Pittsburgh needs to get back to running the ball. All right. Now,
they do have a quarterbacks coach. They do have a quarterbacks coach. And they have an offensive line coach.
Okay. Are they from the former regime, or were they just hired?
They're from the former regime.
So
I'm double checking.
Okay. So Arthur Smith is, if that's the case, Arthur Smith is
the quarterbacks coach is new. Quarterback coach is new. he got hired with the offense coordinator.
Okay. Look his background up. Click C-Dub if you don't mind. Look his background.
I don't think it requires all this. Like, I think that I put it like this. The best years that Derrick Henry ever had in his career, the only 2 times he's made all-pro selection was under Arthur Smith. The 2 best years that they got at that quarterback position was the years that Arthur Smith was coordinator there. The best our offensive line has ever looked was the years that he was here. Like, he does. I get people were frustrated, but you just cannot remove the fact that we had terrible quarterback play. That is not an indictment on his ability to be a good OC. Like, when people complain about the play calling, and I'm sitting there watching receivers open, I'm watching people open, and people are complaining about the play calling. I'm like, what are we talking about here? I get, we want to say, well, who's the quarterback? He's gonna be fine.
No.
Keelan, we're gonna find out.
Look,
that man had a top 5 offense in Tennessee. If you're not a bet, that man had a top 5 in the NFL.
Yeah.
So he's a
and
successful coordinator.
And it was mostly because of Derrick Henry.
That is an assumption because I
No. Let's look it up.
All right, John, I'm gonna pull a game for you in which Henry had less than 50 yards and the quarterback Tannehill threw for 300.
Okay, because now Tannehill,
Henry did not get 100 yards a game. That's my point.
Okay.
He wasn't. Their team stopped Henry. He did not average 100 yards. He did that. That's not the case. There are plenty of games in which Tannehill went and won games based upon his play call. That's what I'm saying. I get it. If Henry ran for 150 yards a game and that's how they won every game, cool. It was all on Henry, but that wasn't the case.
Now this is what I'm saying about that, and this is why I have to dispute this as far as what Tannehill's contributions were and what Derrick Henry's contributions were. Tannehill, and there were some people saying that Tannehill only got better once he came to Tennessee, and that's not the case, because Tannehill was throwing for 4 high 3s, low and mid 4s in thousands of yards when he was in Miami. There was no quote unquote development or no quantum leap in his play once he got to Tennessee. Okay. But when he did get to Tennessee, he had a Derrick Henry to help carry the load. And because of that, and that playoff appearance that they had, everything got skewed to the point where they were saying that Arthur Smith was this guru and he did this and he did that. And the thing was, when they put the search committee out, Arthur Smith was one of the top 3 candidates, if I'm not mistaken, for head coaching job.
You're right.
I have no idea how.
I wonder if Arthur Smith got me and Arthur Blank got free FedEx when he was
All right, so let me say this. I'm sitting here going through the Tennessee Titans schedule, and I'm just pulling the game. Here's a game against Cleveland in which Derrick Henry ended the game with 60 yards rushing. In this same game, Tannehill had 389 yards passing and 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
Maybe
from total rushing yardage for the game out of everyone who rushed the ball, 62 yards for the game with Henry getting 60 of them. No touchdowns.
Maybe Arthur Smith is a good OC and a terrible head coach.
Yeah, which is what both me and Tidy have
said. That's what we're saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm speaking to this notion that it was all Derrick Henry when that wasn't the case.
I think a good bar would be to look how each player did immediately after Arthur Smith left.
Yeah. Well, Derrick Henry hasn't been all pro since he left.
What about Tannehill?
Neither.
Daniel got benched for Labus.
Okay. Now let's look at something else. That particular year, 2019. You had 3,582 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, but you had 2,223 yards rushing and 21 touchdowns. Okay, from Tennessee. So 2,000 yards rushing out of a team in the 20 teens, that's astronomical.
Okay,
21
John,
touchdowns.
I would come back and say this. What is Arthur Smith's hallmark?
Running the ball.
Well, running the ball.
So
hallmark as in
you answered it. That's the answer I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
And
all right.
Not taking anything away from Derrick Henry
not as his season's greeted, John.
That's a physical.
Yeah, not taking anything away from Derrick Henry because he's a phenomenal talent. But the 2 years under Arthur Smith, those are the only 2 years of his career where he averaged over 5 yards per carry.
And he dropped to 5.3 the year he left. He went from 5.4 his career high to 4.3 in the year since Arthur Smith left. The 2 seasons that Arthur Smith was there, he averaged 5.1 yards per carry and 5.4. And then the year he left, he averaged 4.3, 4.4, and then 4.2 the last 3.
Okay. Now, I'm still trying to see where the guru part comes from, because the very next year, 2,600, almost 2,700 yards rushing.
He took 3 nobody running backs and
made
had
it
a top
into
3.
somebody.
And had a top 3
wait a
rushing
minute,
attack in Atlanta.
Okay, now, the guru part.
Well, not the next year.
Well, and see, the thing is, there was no doubt that his claim to fame was running the ball, no doubt. But when it came to developing quarterbacks, him or his staff didn't do it in Tennessee, and didn't do it.
Who was there to develop?
Huh?
Who was there to develop?
The one he picked, as well as Mariota, because he the one. Now, also he was the one, and when it got Mariota.
He didn't draft Mariota. I'm saying, who did he develop? There was no rookie quarterback to develop. There was no young quarterback.
Desmond Ridder was.
No, in Tennessee, he's saying he didn't.
Okay, Tennessee. I got
you. That's no. I'm talking about. Okay,
we can't say that he can't do it if the only opportunity to do it was Ridder, and I don't think there should have been an expectation for a 3rd round pick to develop. But anyway, we can't say he didn't do it in Tennessee when there was no quarterback.
Wait a minute. Now
riddle me this, riddle me that, Pat.
I'm gonna take that.
This is the thing. This is the thing. You needed a quarterback, whether it be a starter.
Now, make sure
you needed a quarterback here.
Just to be clear, my point: there was no expectation of Will Grier to be developed. There was no expectation of Matt Corral to be developed in Carolina. There's no expectation of them to develop into a starter quarterback. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by there shouldn't have been an expectation of him to develop Ridder, because most 3rd round picks, there's not an expectation that they will become a starter in the NFL. That's my point.
So that means that you're absolved of the responsibility to develop the quarterback that you drafted, no matter where you drafted.
No, what I'm saying is, all right, if you're gonna tell me something that's very rarely ever accomplished, you can't hold me to that standard. Like if you say, hey,
what I'm praying for the
hold on. If we saw Brady turn it from a 6th round pick into a Hall of Fame quarterback, if you say that is the expectation, I say then you're retarded, because it's only happened one time in the entire history of NFL football. That's what I'm saying. Something that doesn't happen frequently, there shouldn't be an expectation for it to happen. It's good if it happens. We're lucky. It's like having the expectation of hitting the Powerball tomorrow. It doesn't happen a lot.
Well, was that not okay? Now, this is the problem with that theory. You just got off of a Falcon for life contract with a Matt Ryan. Okay, you didn't have any money. You could have drafted a quarterback in the 1st round, the very first year you got here, but you chose not to, or somebody chose not to. See, the thing is that, just like you said, we don't know who's responsible for that.
It was the Grand Wizard, the Wizard of Oz.
You definitely needed an heir apparent. You didn't do it. The way that the Falcons were talking about Desmond Ridder and pumping him up led most of us to believe that the guru was going to develop this person into.
We started using that word again.
Hey, that's what we were being told.
Yeah, that's what we were being told.
Because when he was drafted, I never heard a single person in the Falcons front office said he's our future franchise quarterback. I've never heard that. I've never heard that when he was drafted. So when did they start?
Did you hear anybody say guru in the front office?
I heard all that. And see, this
I
is
never
something
heard
else.
anybody.
Hold on.
I never heard
We're talking
anybody in the
about Ritter.
Falcons front office call him a guru.
Thank God.
But we're talking
No,
about
they didn't
Ritter.
call him a guru.
I'm going to look at that. I
But we're
can't say
talking
that.
about
I can't
Ritter,
say
and
that.
we're talking about expectations. I never heard anyone even mention him as a QB1 until last year, the offseason going into last year. I've never heard anyone even discuss that.
Now, by virtue of the fact that they finally did do so, okay, that condemns them, because just like you said, Keely, if you would say that and expect that person to become your number one, that doesn't make any sense. But you said, okay, this man is going to be our star. Okay, he's going to be QB1. All right. Now, that was also the year that you tried to go after Deshaun Watson. Well, the previous year you went after Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, then people talked about Lamar.
You said you were going after Lamar Jackson. I don't know how true that was. I don't know whether that was false.
Yeah, they just said they had a conversation about it.
Right. Yeah, and okay, so we never know. But you've gotten to the point now where you got to make somebody QB1. You got to make somebody QB1, and you do so, and you do so with no competition or whatever. So that makes your statement even more true and egregious, because it is true.
The only part of that I think is egregious is the non-competition part. But I also understand why. I don't think that the path of Ritter becoming the starter means that they had expectations of him being a franchise quarterback. I don't think that that's what it means. I think he was the last option. And so, we're stuck with what we got. We got to roll with it.
Here's my question.
Because
they didn't even bring Flacco in to try out.
I don't think you sit there and interview every single quarterback at the combine if your intention was we already got our franchise quarterback. I don't think you sit there and bring all those quarterbacks in the draft to Flowery Branch and interview them again if you already believe you have your franchise quarterback. I don't think
he wasn't. Yeah. So I think we all could agree there.
This is Arthur Smith we talking about, so I can't say what
I don't
these
think
people were thinking when they did that.
Yeah,
I can't. Same way you laid out. What it was that you said. My faith in these people was destroyed.
I refuse to believe that the same guy that will pursue Deshaun Watson as the starting quarterback would say that, this is also a great option. Like it doesn't make sense in my head to say,
no, it don't.
This guy,
it doesn't.
This is what we want, and we also want him too. It just doesn't make sense.
Keely, I agree with 100%.
How we know Arthur Blank did not play a part in that? Getting Deshaun Watson to come here. How we know he did not say, "Hey, go get Deshaun Watson"?
Now he did say. Now Arthur Blank did say when they were talking about getting rid of Matt Ryan, he bagged up.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely bagged up and said, "Look,
Lion season."
Yeah, well, no, he did say, Arthur Blank did say, look, they got the team. Arthur Smith is the coach. Whatever it is that they want to do, I'm going to be in favor of it. And, I think it came out in a report that Arthur Blank said, treat Matt Ryan right. Now, hey, and me and Tidy went around about the fact that Matt Ryan quit. Because he could have stayed here. But
Ryan said, y'all trying to get the new shiny toy. Deuces.
Yeah. He's like, screw you.
I mean,
the bus you rode on.
Matt Ryan is a company man. Matt Ryan a company man now. Yeah,
What?
you could have stuck around, but no, he wanted to go, and so we let him go.
But if
Hey,
you're
you
Matt
made it very
Ryan,
clear you
wouldn't
didn't want
you
to be
do the
here.
same thing? If you're Matt Ryan, wouldn't you have done the same thing? It was perceived to be a better situation. You got one team that's rebuilding, and you got a team that has an
That
all-pro
was
running back in the offensive line.
Hold on. I'm glad you brought this up because look, I have no problem with him going to the Colts because that was fine. What my thing was, I remembered I said a long time ago, and I wish I was on these panels to bring this up, was my thinking was if you were going to get rid of Matt Ryan, try to trade him when everything was at that peak. Because if I'm not mistaken, Wentz got traded, Wilson got traded. You know, a lot of movement was going around. You could have been in within that, and you could have gotten at least more than just a third round pick. That's all I've ever said. I didn't have a problem with him going to the Colts. Didn't have a problem with him wanting to leave because the way I saw it was, hey, they were trying to shop you, or they were trying to, get what you got. Sorry.
But see,
Trying to go for
at that time, they had asked Matt to move his roster bonus back. So when that happened, they had to get rid of Matt before that Monday, so they wouldn't have to pay him that roster bonus. So that's why they went on and took that third round pick.
But that's why I was saying, if you would have,
Matt Ryan did not. He did not exercise that bonus. He did. He actually, with nobody really give him credit for, but I will. He did the Falcons a solid.
Yes, he did.
He could have pressed the button. No, y'all pay me my money on the deadline, but he voluntarily pushed it back in order for the Falcons to get in a better position to quote unquote replace him.
But with that being said, it was a favor. It's to me, it's like this. Let's say you got your girl, you been with her for a minute, right? And while you with her, you been with your girl for what, 14 seasons, right? 14 years you with your girl. Now you
I've been with mine for 20.
Now you got all these baddies over here, right? All these baddies over here. Your girl is but you got these baddies over here. And I was saying your girl is tripping. She's seeing other people. You've been looking at that baddie this whole time. I don't need any more excuses to leave at that point. It to me is just that simple. Like I would do you a favor to help me get out too.
Look, I've been married for over 24 years, so is it that easy? I mean, I don't know.
Now at the quarterback spot.
Oh, quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, now see that. Now this is the thing. This same thing takes place on every other spot on the roster.
Yeah.
Just like just like Algier and Bijan. Okay, Bijan 1,000-yard back, but you go get a dog. Algier 1,000-yard back, but you go get Bijan. Why? Why?
He's a nice toy. And he's smiling.
Go ahead, Ron.
It was that shiny toy, John. Once again, they baited Arthur Smith. All right, Bijan this, Bijan that, and he fell for the okie doke. He was like, "Oh, he's so good. Well, I finna go get the man." Now, don't get me wrong, Bijan is good, but I did not think we needed to get him. I think we should have got Jalen Carter. Once again, I've been saying that. And Tiny asked me after that draft, "Run, why you so mad?" I said, "We got Bijan. And he said, "Who you wanted to get?" I said, "Motherfucking Jalen Carter."
It might be as simple as that they really believe that dumb strategy of best player available.
I went crazy at work, Ron.
I went crazy.
Stop me, man. I was stomping. I was going. I mean, they thought
I think it's not that complicated. They might just really believe that dumb, stupid strategy of just simply going best player available.
Just grabbing the best player available, whether you need him or not. Whether he's your need or not.
We got to leave the past in the past.
We need the best kicker available.
Once they load up in free agency on defense, where was you gonna put Jalen Carter?
On
Oh, I
defense.
think you could.
What?
If you would have gotten Jalen
I'm glad you brought that up.
Wallace,
What?
Wallace, you watching too many cartoons.
Wallace,
What?
look at the injuries we ended up suffering. Wouldn't it have been nice to have a Jalen Carter?
It would have.
Because
people act like he was starting in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You act like we didn't have room for depth on our defense line.
But if you seen what they were doing in free agency, that should have let you know that they wasn't gonna go get no Jalen Carter.
What's the difference between the situation in Philadelphia? He wasn't starting in Philadelphia. He had people ahead of him in Philadelphia. I don't get it.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Wallace, like the moves in free agency should have let us know that they weren't going to pursue another tackle. But what we're saying is, it was dumb on the organization's
It was dumb.
Yeah,
because we seen how our defense was when Grady Jarrett were healthy. Then after Grady Jarrett got injured, where did our defense go?
Yeah, and then David Onyemata got hurt a few games.
But we could have had Jalen Carter, and we had Jalen Carter could have just slid him right up in there.
Right. So we would have been straight on the defense line.
And run. He was an all rookie, all pro. He was second in the league in sacks as a rookie. Dude we fucked up and missed out on this talent. Just call it what it is. And I hate when folks try to talk their way out of it.
Now I will say
we get away. And that was the best play available.
I will say this though. If you keep it's all good, Red. You know I got love for you. All right. So in the press conferences that we've heard, tight end has played them. I know, John, we've talked over about them. But what did the coach keep saying? Well, what's the guys that, you're really excited about having on your team? And he goes Drake London and Bijan Robinson. Now, I'm not trying to throw the crap on Pitts. We've talked about him enough. But right there, those two guys, they see. And if you listen to the talk about, Zach Robinson, listen to that interview. Oh, I'm telling you right now, Bijan Robinson, we're about to see a big year from him. I could go ahead and say it. Because he keeps bringing him. He mentioned Bijan Robinson 3 to 4 different times in the interview. And it's like you're going, okay, I see what you're doing. I'm seeing, but I'm just like, we'll see. But right now, I just want to find out who this staying quarterback's going to be.
And Drake London, I bet it's going to be his first 1,000-yard season for us.
He's going to have 1,000 yards easy. God, please.
He might have like way over 1,000 yards, and then
have a quarterback yet.
Where? Well, depending we get.
I will say this: when it comes to Drake London, I was really impressed with him last year.
Can I have my scenario, man?
How do we know there's going to be any improvement when we don't even know if we got a quarterback?
That's why we got.
We're going to get a quarterback. Have faith, Keeley. Have faith as small as a mustard seed. Just believe. Believe.
Hey.
I'm just.
I'm from Missouri.
Just going to automatically be.
Show me.
Hold on. John,
I'm from Missouri. You got to show me.
John, it's like this. John, you're like the Shawshank Redemption. You're Morgan Freeman going, hope's a really bad word, man. You don't need to be saying that around here.
I mean, has Zach Robinson called plays in the NFL before?
No. But he's been the pass coordinator. And, hey, what was it? Mike McDonald, or not Mike McDonald, but what's that dude? The Dolphins coach. Did he call plays before until he became the coach of the Dolphins?
Okay,
because he was a passing coordinator also. That's what I'm saying. He's
and we can name plenty who didn't call plays in the NFL, and when they got the opportunity, they were trash. I'm just saying we just don't know because it's somebody with no experience, and then quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have the quarterback. And like I said, there's so many things we don't know yet, and, we've all talked about the holes that we have. So it's like, that's why I keep saying this is Lions season. When you hear of guys being named or dropped, like, oh man, The Falcons have it. Look, the Falcons should have interest in every quarterback because we don't have one, or we don't have because I keep going back to what Arthur Blank said and Raheem and Terry Fontenot, and those are the three guys in charge. They said we need an elite processor. They want an upgrade. So when you hear those things, the guy that was the quarterback, it's going to be a stiff uphill mountain for him to climb because he's not fitting the qualifications yet. We will see what they actually do.
Well, the problem is they're talking. They're talking as though the one we already got, they can upgrade him to an elite processor.
Man, that Motive 505 has been busted for a long time.
So,
got the music on.
That man still using dial-up America online, man.
Age, sex, location.
And gentlemen, that clock on the wall is saying that an old man needs to go to bed and rest because he done. And I'd like to thank everyone that has come on the panel. Those of you in the chat,
come on, Rick.
Thank you guys for contributing in the chat. And Wallace, C-Dub, Ron.
Yeet. Come on, Ron.
Red,
you know you want to dance.
Tidy, El Jefe.
Come on, El Jefe. Move the shoulders.
That's right.
You know you want to shimmy.
Let her dance.
Come on,
man. I really appreciate you guys coming in, and
thank you, Tidy.
As always, it's been a blast. And El Jefe, where we gonna find you at on Facebook, man?
Hey, Keely Stinson is my name. Look me up. If y'all want my opinions, it's probably gonna be very anti-Ritter this upcoming season. So.
That's right, big dog. That's right. I'm gonna be right there with you.
Load them up. Hey, that's why you on the panel, man. Hey, this is not a go along to get along panel. We gonna scrub that, scrub that thing until they get clean.
Yeah, really.
To your right and my left, or your right and my left, Mr. Tidy Jones. Where will we find you, sir?
No, at Atlanta Bird Gang on Facebook and also here on YouTube.
All right.
And also check out the group Atlanta Bird Gang too.
Yes,
and the page.
Still on the
and Mr. Wallace Smith, we waiting on you, man. Step on out there on YouTube. Step on out there on Facebook.
I've been thinking about it. I said I should try it, but
they let somebody like me come on here. I know you'll be a success, sir. All right, hey Ron, what you doing, Ron? Where will we find you, sir?
Oh, we know where we find Ron.
You can find me on Quandry-Is Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, and Pops and the Henry Brothers Saturday at between 4 and 6 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram.
Yes.
All right. And right next to you in red, there's Red. Where will we find you, Red? Where we gonna find you at? Where you be hanging out at?
You gonna find me ranting about Ritter until his ass is off the damn team. And where you gonna find me at? On my Facebook page. Red Road on Facebook in the Red and Real Sports Show Saturdays. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be like an exterminator on a rat until that clown is off my team. Red and Real Sports Show 11 a.m. YouTube and Facebook, baby. Free run.
All right. C-Dub.
Yeah.
Where will we find you, sir?
Here at the eye test. I'm gonna be around, and then go to my page on Facebook, C Double. I'm also on my Insta with C Double 28. and that's also my YouTube if I'm not, or Twitter if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, got stuff coming up. We got wrestling. We got the Elimination Chamber this Saturday. I ain't waking up no dang 5 in the morning to watch that though. So I'll watch it when I wake up and have my coffee, and I'll tell you what I thought. But yeah, that's what's going on. And yeah, and always I'll be at the Bird Game. Hopefully, we got a Waffle House Friday. And if y'all want, make sure you show up there too, because Toddy loves having everybody there. Get your orders in too. Get my split smoke liquor.
Oh, liquor.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Tonio.
With the bull.
Where will we find you, sir? You gonna launch something? Have you launched something?
You can find me at work and in your refrigerator.
Bro, man.
Hey, man. Hey.
You came from the fourth floor?
Bro, man.
All them snacks you've been snacking on since you've been on.
I can't argue. I can't argue with it. All right. Well, we're grading the show on the curve tonight. So everybody on the top row. Let me see. Keelan, you get an A. Tidy, you get an A. Wallace Smith, you get a Atlanta Public Schools A. Ron, you get an A.
Wallace.
Red,
that's bad.
Red, we still working on your Red.
He gets the end. He needs more improvement.
And the bell curve is going down where you standing at there. The bell curve is curving. C-Dub, you get an A. And Antonio, you get an A for the refrigerator. And Red, I give you an A. I take an F. I just take an F to balance everything out, so that the bell curve will still look like a bell. So
that means we all really got to see these.
Yeah, well, I'm doing this on Atlanta Public Schools grading system here. So y'all, I'm sorry, whatever I do give you, you still won't get into college. It's not gonna matter.
They're not good.
The worst graded scale in the damn country.
Hey man, hey man. Hey, when you can get 100 points for spelling your first name right, we ain't gonna bother with you.
Run, I'm telling the truth.
Forget about going to law school.
Bullshit. Goddamn, how the hell I get a damn 70 or something? It is a damn D. A D? I know 70% of this shit. Get out of my face.
Bro, everybody put their helmets on and keep them licking the windows on the short buses.
Hey man, I used to love riding those short buses. Best 2 hours of my life.
All right, well, gentlemen, and as well as chat and everyone viewing, please enjoy the rest of your week and go Falcons. Bye bye.
Bird, baby.